There is no such thing as science. It's all magic. Nothing can be explained.
To be fair, I mean, when people are praying to their imaginary friends in the sky, that is pretty magical.
I pray to Stephen Hawking all the time too. Anyway, should we get started with the Weekend at Amy's?
Yeah.
Right.
I was actually thinking of like Alan Rickman. Magical Man in the Sky.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Or Santa Claus.
Imagine if he ended, if there was like a plot twist at the end of this whole kind of like Earth thing, and he ends up being gods. Everyone's like, I didn't see that coming, but
I probably should have considered
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Considering how much he cares for the children.
Yeah,
that actually makes much more sense.
It just ends up being a random celebrity that just like walked among us for a couple of years. I was like, the correct answer actually was David Bowie all along. It's like, oh, fair enough, alright. I mean, I don't dislike it, but it's just a bit out there, you know.
Imagine like those celebrities that like end up with like the godlike status is actually God each time. But like because it doesn't take on, it's like, right, Jesus, you have to reincarnate again.
So, Jesus, you have to stay relevant. You're gonna have to do rock and roll. First of all, you have to invent rock and roll. Right, so if I rebrand as Buddy Holly and then take it a further step on with Elvis Presley, I think that works, yeah. And then we move on then as Freddie Mercury.
And you're married, Wheatus, I miss Wheatus. Hi, welcome to Weekend at Amy's.
Welcome to Weekend at Amy's. I miss Wheatus.
I know they're still around. I know that, but they're not as good as they used to be. They lost their way.
They did.
After Buddy Holly, they just kind of lost their way. Probably one of the best music videos of all time. Granted, okay, we're a little bit empty right now here at Weekend at Amy's.
It's a bit quiet.
It's a tad bit quiet. This movie, we're on the last of our Stephen King one.
Yes.
And we saved this one for last because it's probably the most highly emotional one.
Yeah, I'll fix that in a minute.
So it's the most emotional movie that's on the list, I think. Also, it's 3 hours and 8 minutes long.
Yeah.
Including credits.
That's true.
But still.
We're still going to be here for 3 hours for the story.
Let's take off the credits. It's 3 hours long. Alright, that's actually probably it's probably 3 hours and...
If anything, we're taking one for the team here because we do have people coming in very, very soon. It's just that they're going to be here for about Act 3. So if anything, we're kind of like...
They're going to see the best part of the movie.
we're getting the background, the origins.
We get the whole fucking thing.
Exactly, yeah.
We're doing the prep work.
We're doing the prep work, exactly. We're in the early shit.
You know what the best thing about this is? It's actually one of Stephen King's shorter books. It was done in 3 parts. Right?
And they kept most of it in the movies.
All of it is kept in. There's only... I can tell you which points are taken out as we get to them.
Yeah.
It is not a lot.
No.
And at this point in time, it's only the really, really... Like, this is a depressing ending. The book has an even more depressing ending. And thankfully they took that out. But you know what? I'm going to fuck yous all over and I'm going to tell you what it is anyway. So, we got the snacks.
Yeah. We got the comfort food. There is cuddly animals available if you need them.
We got the will to live.
Yeah, we do so far.
We'll probably lose it within an hour and a half. Actually,
that's why we'll supply you with the gluten-free cookies.
That's it. Yeah, we're deploying snacks at very important points.
We've worked it. We've worked it very well. So enjoy this journey. What else? Yes, Spencer. Oh, also, I understand that there is language in this movie. It's very frowned upon. Just don't say it, some of it. And yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's set in the 50s, 40s. 50s, 40s. Yeah, let's go. Mr. Jangles. This movie made me want to get a pet mouse because I thought we could train them like this, and my mom was like, no. And then I found out my mother was scared of mice.
that probably would have put a dampener on the idea, to be honest.
It was a glorious way to find out how my mother was scared of mice. Also, it's something I didn't actually do. Excellent cast in this movie.
Yes, absolutely phenomenal.
It's a phenomenal cast.
It has been a long time since I watched this movie. To the extent where I can't even remember that it was 3 hours long. Like, I remember it as a kind of a really like short and sweet, like hour 40. It's just not that at all. Yeah, that's exactly it. But
the book is like just maybe over 200 pages long.
Yeah, which is not that much. Is like not that fucking big as a book. The
book is like this. That is nothing. The Stand is this.
Yeah, exactly.
And The Stand was done a few times, always as a miniseries. Salem's Lot was done as a fucking miniseries.
Yeah.
Salem's Lot should have been a full-blown movie, but with regards to the actual miniseries itself, they had Toby Hooper directing it, and you're like, oh, thank God they got a horror director to do it, because it has probably one of the most scariest moments of all fucking time ever in it. And it's when the one of the little boys has been turned into a vampire, and he's at the friend's window, and it's just all fog, and he's just hovers.
Yeah.
And then he appears, and the the yellow contact levels, he has the fangs, the ghost, the ghastly pale white, and he's just like, and it's such a sinister look on his face. I'm just like, I'm 33 years of age.
I shouldn't be.
I still piss myself when I see that, because my bedroom has a skylight on it, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes when I suffer from sleep paralysis, I see that little bastard floating outside the window, and it's just like, oh, you're not coming in. It's like, I love the vampire mythology. It's like that you have to invite them in.
Yes.
It's
all
can you
part
imagine,
of
like, how glorious is it? You're running from a vampire, and then you accidentally trip into your own home, and you're just like, ah, what are you doing? He goes, are you gonna let me in? Wait, what? Like, imagine me like, so, hold on, time out. We've just been running for 45 minutes, okay? I'm not a cardio girl. You mean to tell me if I just walked in somewhere that you didn't, like you have to be invited in? Are you shitting at me?
It's quite literally like, you need to let me in. It's all part of the formality.
God damn it, sir. Like, what the fuck? Also, what do, Italian vampires do? I mean, do you think they kill themselves because they can't eat garlic?
Yeah.
Maybe they've got like a garlic replacement or something like that. It's like, what?
No.
What could we
Hold
put
on,
in?
if it's a full,
never
hold on,
supposed to be
even
real.
if it's a full-blooded Italian,
Yeah.
they will literally. I'm
Guys,
I'm going into the sunlight.
It's a full-blooded Italian.
They're like.
There are no Italian vampires.
I'm going to the
there has
sun
to be,
myself.
yeah.
But like in Twilight, the vault. What's it called? The
Volturi.
They're in Italy. Like, it's set in Italy. I was like, no, I do not accept this at all. I think it's picked there because
Illuminati and the Pope, blah blah blah.
that's literally the only reason why you can do it. Because I guarantee you, if any of y'all were Italian, you'd be like, guys, are we serious? We haven't figured out a pill yet.
Between like,
it's like the lactose intolerant vampire got a pill. Why can't I? He's able to eat milkshakes.
So between Italy and having so much daytime hours just solely because they're like in the Mediterranean, and then the French having like just being like the national stereotype of garlic. They're two rotten places to be vampires, isn't it? Like.
And also, actually, the majority of vampire stories they do start off in France.
Well, see, like it's the draw of Paris though. Like, Paris is just a good venue for any fucking story.
Unless you're an angel and it starts in
Good, but that's another one. That's another one. American writers.
He should have stayed there.
Yeah, he should have stayed there.
He really should have stayed. If anything, he should have been like, guys, I know an island, right? All it does is fucking rain.
Yeah.
We see sunlight maybe once every 30 years.
Yeah. Clive Barker was a fucker for that, because I remember playing a game of his in between of his other works, and one of them was just called Clive Barker's Undying, and it was set in the west of Ireland on an island. It was like, but it wasn't the Aran Island, it was just an island. It was like, okay, so
I love how no one does that much research into
but that was exactly it.
Island.
There was absolutely nothing to do with Ireland. He just wanted to put us somewhere that wasn't fucking like Cornwall or something like that.
I just want to very quickly. So there's we did skip over the part, but where he's taking the bread and the orderly is asking him where does he go every day.
Yeah.
In the book, there's an orderly who's very like Percy, who works in the nursing home with them, and he's very he is very much like Percy, and Paul, who's the older person, constantly calls him Percy.
Yes.
So that's who he perceives him to be, and he in turn thinks you're demented, like you're suffering from Alzheimer's sort of thing, because they're not meant to go walking. It's interesting.
Inbred trailer trash. All they ever talk about is fucking.
I love hearing old people swear. It's my favourite, like, little guilty pleasure.
To be fair, like they're the ones that would anyway, because like, so, do you know what? I'm too old to give a shit about what I say anymore.
Also, I used
used to call her Auntie Marie, but no, Mary, because she was my nana's sister, and they lived next door to each other on the North Road in Finglas. Like, so.
Were they constantly just swearing at each other?
No. Nana was always prim and proper with us.
Oh,
was like,
it's like
I'm your
polar
nana.
opposites.
Mm.
Where you go in to marry. For fuck's sake, with like, oh yeah. Like, I'm gonna hang on. I love you. It's just so cool.
I love people like that.
Mm.
I love when you go from one extreme to the other.
This is the nana that would call my brother, like she'd be sitting on the couch at hers, call over my brother, here, I have something for you. Fake teeth. Like,
My nan did that as well, actually.
they'd always have the door open between the two houses
Yeah.
and the porch open this much for Trixie,
They
the Jack Russell. Mary's Jack Russell.
go in and
One of the first dogs I was not afraid of.
oh,
Because literally you just hear the
I love how
ringing
Dorothy
Tippy tappa.
is singing along.
Yeah.
No, not even that. She this was the only actual genuine movie I saw her in, right?
Mm.
Because the first thing I ever saw her in, Jackass the movie. She plays Johnny Knoxville's wife.
Yes.
When
yes.
he's
yes.
Irvin Zisman, and I was like, oh, that's a real actor. I thought she was just one of the crew members, like family or something like that. I was like, oh, you're a legit actress.
Can you come in here and just kind of pretend to have Alzheimer's? I'd love to.
They're really nice glasses.
Mm.
They're kind of like
They're graduated cylinders, is what
Yeah.
they're kind of based on. Yeah.
No, not what they're based on.
Look, yeah, similar shape though.
they quite are, especially with the bottom, the way the bottom is on.
Yeah.
It's like
If there's a bit more of a base, then
Yeah.
and then it's missing the spouts essentially. That's all it's missing.
I forgot how much Boss ID was tasty it was.
No, that's rain.
Yes. It's raining sideways.
It's raining sideways.
It's
Thank
raining
you, Ollie.
sideways.
And now Ollie with the weather report. It's raining sideways. Thank you, Ollie.
Soup's on.
Damn, nature, you scary. Now it's back to fast animals, fat children. Do you know what? I know people give a lot of shit because of kind of like some of the stuff, but Family Guy is glorious.
Mm. It's like every other animation show. When it's good, it's fucking good, and then it just like there's in the deer and no one cares.
Like they found their dip when they killed off Brian.
Yeah.
They kept Vinny for enough episodes, and then they brought him back, and you're like, oh, thank God.
Mm. I think everyone always records the decline of The Simpsons was the Armin Tanzarian episode.
Yeah,
That's the one
the best thing about it is if you ask any of the writers on The Simpsons, he's like, so the Armin...
Oh, I know.
The last, apparently, season 34, actually, now I haven't seen any of the new ones now. This is purely because the only way I watch The Simpsons now is on streaming.
Yeah.
That's actually the only time I'll ever watch The Simpsons. Like, I don't watch it because I'm never at my... I don't really watch TV that much anymore.
Yeah.
I'll either... And some things I actually won't watch on streaming sites because they don't have the original music.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I always manage to heel it in, but Supernatural is a really good example of this.
Mm.
So I was watching Supernatural when it was on Netflix, and it was season 1 on Netflix, and I was like, this
You're
seems
right.
off, and it's like, this something's off about this, and I can't figure out what it is, and it was only when I realised they didn't have the rights for the songs.
Yeah.
But I ended up buying the complete Blu-ray box set of all 15 seasons.
Yeah.
And all the original songs are back in it. And I was like, I fucking knew it was Def Leppard in season 5.
Yeah.
I fucking knew it. Like,
Was
and that pissed me off though, because there was a particular group on Facebook and they were like, no, it's always been this song. I was like, no, you've never actually seen it on television, and we know this is because I watched this shit live.
Yeah.
And I had to wait a fucking year to find out, is he actually dead? And then when I was streaming it, I was like,
What's this like? What we've been rewatching?
Yeah, we've been rewatching Stargate and like every fucking season
And West
finales.
Wing.
And West Wing, every cliffhanger.
West Wing is
yeah.
fucking glorious.
The cliffhangers in West Wing are just fucking.
But I'd be like, I had to wait a year.
That's the thing is as well. It's like now. This is another thing as well. It's like when writers kind of forget stuff that they do.
Yes.
In previous seasons, and they're like, and especially when a new showrunner takes on,
Mm.
and it's kind of like straight away when you're watching it, streaming it, or if you're binging on a DVD, you're like, wait a minute. Like 4 episodes ago, they couldn't do that, and now they can.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
literally, it's like, they thought we'd forget because they forgot sort of thing, and it's like pushing
But
it.
you do get that with a lot of those kind of shows as well, because like that's why there's like there are people whose literally job it is just to keep track of continuity.
Yeah,
Like even with a
it's
huge, like
plan.
any huge series like that, anything Marvel shaped, anything fucking
Marvel seems to have
Yeah.
shot themselves in the foot
yeah.
with Secret Invasion.
Mm.
I haven't watched it.
Yeah,
I've no intention of watching it,
Yeah.
but I've seen enough people complaining about it, being
Mm.
like, "Oh, that means that he was like a Skrull for the entirety of Civil War. That makes no sense." And you're like, I don't know what any of this means.
Yeah. That's the thing.
I'm
Like
so out of the loop
yeah.
now, and I used to I really liked Marvel, but as soon as they ended Phase 3, I was like, I'm done with Marvel.
Yeah.
I've seen what I needed to see.
That's why like sometimes sci-fi kind of gets away with it a bit, because we're doing a Stargate binge at the minute, and it's just like all they have to do is, because the first season they set out like here's a couple of like stories, where here's a couple of like worlds and races and all this sort of stuff, and literally every season all they have to do was just like do, and here's a sequel to this, and here's a sequel to this, and like if you kind of like you kind of future proof, to be pardon the pun,
Yeah,
they future proof
like-
a lot of stuff.
At the start, like, oh gee, like it was really hard to go through the
Yeah.
Stargate, you feel sick. And then it's mentioned a couple of episodes later, oh, we put in these stabilizers.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
You know, they slip in a comment, and you're like,
yeah.
that explains a lot.
But that's because they've learned from the likes of like Star Trek was the one that kind of like died for its sins in a way, because they were the first like on TV to do certain things where everything was an episode in a vacuum. There's no fucking continuity until like the movies came around, and then the Next Generation had to do that bit as well.
I think I would actually love a show
Also,
where there is
Mm.
I think I would love a show where there is absolute no continuity. And I think, do you know what's a really good one of doing that? It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, actually,
They have very limited. They have like 4 or 5 jokes that are continuity, and then everything else is like it could just be a rant. Like you don't have to watch that in order.
exactly, yeah.
It's a great show though.
There's another show like that. I'm trying to think what it is. Like, and it was a sitcom too, and it just like every episode was a fucking like
Spaced.
a lot. Yeah, spaced. Yeah. I don't know if that's one I was thinking of. It's a really obscure one, but it's just like there's actually like fuck all continuity. It actually doesn't matter.
This annoys the fuck out of me. I can never remember this man's name. David. Not David O. Russell. It's
And whereas I'm struggling with the guy beside him.
Barry Pepper.
Thank you.
I love Barry Pepper. Barry Pepper is in.
Barry Pepper. Barry Pepper. Every time he's on
No,
screen.
Barry Pepper is in some of my favourite movies, and it's hilarious because he's such a random
Yeah.
actor to
Yeah.
be in it. So there's a newish enough. I say newish enough. Like it would have been in the last 5 years, I think.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm gonna, because COVID kind of fucked me up time wise, so I'm gonna say the last 10 years just to cover myself. And it's called Crawl, and it is
Heard of Crawl.
2019.
an alligator.
Yeah.
It's like a storm. There's a tornado warning or a hurricane in Florida, and a girl goes back to check on her dad, who happens to be played by Barry Pepper. And when they're in the house, an alligator is in there with them.
Yeah.
It's very kind of like a Jaws-esque type
Yeah.
situation, like you're in. And he's in that, and I was like, this is going to be a stupid as fuck movie, and I really enjoyed it. The dog survives. I'm going to spoiler alert. There's a dog dies in the end.
I genuinely love there's a website dedicated to that.
Yeah, it does the dog die.com. Little fun fact. He actually got this role on the advice. Bruce Willis recommended him
Who-
to. Bruce Willis recommended
Nice.
him to Frank Darabont for after working with him on Armageddon,
Ah,
and he
okay.
goes, "Oh, they happen to be talking about Armageddon was 98. This
Yeah.
is 99."
I forgot Armageddon was before this.
And
I have it in my head as like a 2000 movie.
because that was like one of the movies that he had done, and then this technically would be considered his breakout. Then
Yeah.
this was his breakout role. But yeah, so Barry Pepper is in Crawl, which is actually a really good movie. I would recommend to watch it. It's actually good. It has a nice bit of suspense to it. He is the sniper in Saving Private Ryan.
That's how I know.
In We Were Soldiers, he plays the journalist who jumps on the plane that Greg Kinnear, or jumps on the helicopter that
Yeah.
Greg Kinnear is flying, and he actually brings him into it. He's the pacifist who
Yeah.
ends up picking up the gun at the end of it. But yeah, I realised 2 of them are war movies. But they're 2 different wars. So
Yeah.
I'd recommend both. And We Were Soldiers, if you can get past the Mel Gibson's part of it, it's actually a very good movie.
If you can skip past just Mel Gibson generally.
just take your disdain for Mel Gibson and just you kind of like, you will actually enjoy it though. It is a very good movie.
We were
The
talking
book
about,
was fabulous. Hal Moore book on it, because he wrote the book with, I can't think what his name is, but the character that Barry Pepper played. They wrote the book together, and it is haunting.
We were talking about animated shows earlier on when they have their heyday. When South Park are in their fucking groove, it's just a fucking tour de force. Like those when they do go.
David Morse.
David Morris.
Oh.
When South Park are on it, like there are certain things that just like they get into your head, they just become part of the culture. Like they absolutely have ruined Mel Gibson for me because of the episode that takes the piss out of the Passion of the Christ. And
Mel Gibson ruined himself for me.
So. Oh, absolutely, that is very true. but like I said, like he became such an open target, and just like South Park is a nail in the coffin because he just comes in and just goes. Every time I see Mel Gibson now, all I can think of is oh god, my nipples.
To be fair, anytime I see Bono. Oh,
yeah.
It's not even that. I was like, oh, look at you, you piece of shit. Like,
hello. Mom, Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet.
Alright, I'm just very quickly just looking at the cast for this, right? You got Michael Clark Duncan. Michael Clark Dunn even, sorry. Duncan. Oh no, yeah, that was Duncan,
right the first
sorry,
time.
yeah. Michael Dunn is a different actor. Tom Hanks, David Moore, Sam Rockwell, Doug Hutchinson, who is questionable. He plays Percy. Do not search that man. It will leave an icky taste in your mouth.
Really?
He was the one that married Courtney Stodden, who was like 16 at the time. He was 50.
Oh, yikes!
And I've just yeah. You got Michael Jeter, who obviously is Del.
Mm-hmm.
Your
Edouard
man,
Delacroix.
who's the warden, James
Cromwell.
Yes, that'll do, babe.
Father Hoggett, or Farmer Hoggett, even, or as my family know him, Grandad.
Mm-hmm.
My granddad and James Cromwell were the absolute spit of each other.
Are they really?
Like,
Yeah.
Proper doppelganger. Especially when my granddad was younger, yes. But as my granddad got older, 1960s Chief Gordon. That was who my granddad looked like. As he got older, it was hilarious. Barry Pepper, Bonnie Holt, Jeffrey DeMunn, Patricia Clarkson, Henry Dean Stanton. Oh, 1, 2, 3. So far, 3 of these people are dead. Graham Greene, who plays Bitterbuck. Dabs Green, who has also now passed away. He plays the older Paul. Gary how do you pronounce his surname?
Show us the surname.
Gary Sinson, CSI New York.
I'd say Sinise.
Yeah.
Sinise, maybe.
Yeah.
Or actually just could be just because Sinus.
William Sadler.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. Billy Kinney, Brent Briscoe. Brent Briscoe. That is a fantastic name. But yeah. This is also someone so I was like saying there, Jeffrey DeMunn, he actually does an awful lot of Stephen King adaptations. He's in a lot of Stephen King stuff.
Well, I've watched something with him in the recent and can't place him. It was like not really.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, Walking Dead possibly. There's something else though.
The girls are mine. I've seen this movie way too many times. I'm also one of these people. I skip an awful lot of this movie, right? And I don't do it like because I'm just kind of like. It's kind of like The Exorcist for me. Sometimes I'm just not in the mood for a really slow build. Other times, if I'm working, like obviously I still work from home. So if I need something to play in the background.
Yeah.
That I'll know right when this is over. I'm going on my lunch.
See, we had this with A Few Good Men, didn't we? The Few Good Men is a build up to that scene, but that's also what makes the movie work. Is that like you're getting all the background, you're getting all the actual proverbial build. Until you do get that one monumental scene.
I will say this, if you rewatch The Weekend at Amy's when we watched A Few Good Men, we did not watch any of that movie until that point.
Yeah, but that's exactly
So if you told me, if you said to me right now, what's the plot of A Few Good Men?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
all I know is that I think 2 lads murdered someone.
Yeah, it was a cover up within the
I think 2 lads murdered someone, or they just beat him up.
Yeah.
And then did he not commit suicide?
No.
Alright, so that's literally it. And Jack Nicholson is in it.
Yeah.
But they were ordered to do it.
I did not know that, and I watched the whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
And I even watched the scene where Jack Nicholson has the breakdown,
Yeah.
and he admits
Did you
it.
order the code? I can't remember if it's red or black.
Let's
Code
say
red.
black.
Code red.
Code red.
Yeah.
Will it not be called black?
No, I think it was called
I think
red.
it's code red.
Yeah.
I thought code red initially, and then it was like whether.
Like, you can understand why they assumed he did
Yeah.
it,
Yeah.
right?
Add in racial.
Oh, massive
the
racial
racial thing.
But
yeah.
like, here's the thing is, I fully will actually stand by this. If that was a white man
Yeah.
of that size cradling the dead girl, no, I'm pretty sure they'd be like, you are also gonna hang for this.
Yeah.
Like, now granted, it is done because.
But this is also how the report is describing it as well, isn't it? As opposed, this isn't the scene. This is the scene, as per the report, as opposed to verbatim.
Well, it is how he. But realistically speaking,
If
if
what happened.
Is what happened.
Yeah.
It's just that nobody
But-
questioned him further.
Yes.
it is, see, and if there is parts, there's bits in the book of this where, I mean, all the prison guards have read this as well, sort of thing, right?
Yeah,
Or
they're
at
kind of
least-
they're aware of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we know 2 of them are fully aware of it anyway. This side, the other ones, it's probably hearsay. They're not in a position where they have to read the report,
Yeah.
but they will probably sit down and do it at a later point,
Yeah.
sort of thing, right? And so they're all fully aware of, like, oh God, this monster, like this horrible person. He at no point does John Coffey actually say, "I never did it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas you find out later on, he knows exactly what happened, but he never actually tells anyone
Yeah.
what really happened.
Yeah.
Now, it's not a case. Chances are, even if he had, they're not going to believe him.
No. Not around this time.
However, when you know who really did it, they probably would have actually believed him.
You would really like to think so. You really, really was.
Well, again,
Who did it?
there's a massive plot point in
It's
the
been so long.
fucking.
Yeah.
There's a
I
massive.
don't remember.
There's a massive plot point in the book where realistically, had they actually gone with that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he would have been proven innocent.
Yeah.
And he would have been set free. But because of the book itself, or because of the actual story and the way what King actually does to the character John Coffey, it fully makes sense as to why he would never voice this.
Yeah.
And it is a sense of, realistically, he wants to die.
Yeah. Like I said, this would no doubt have come up in conversation anyway because of one of the main takeaways from this movie. But even like nowadays, like the fact that there is such an activism for black men who have been on death row for so long, and it's solely because, and again, it's for like it's not for like relatively banal stuff, but it's for stuff where the cases are so obviously flimsy. But they're still putting them on death row and basically just have them waiting until
be honest with you.
they contest it.
Now, we're not American, so it really has no biases. But I'm one of these people where I would be. I listen to an awful lot of true crime.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, this fucker needs to die.
Yeah,
He did.
Because you have to get an emotional decision from that. Yeah.
But I was like, this person. Oh God, I'd love to fucking kill this person myself for what they did. I'm not at all though on board with the death penalty. Because how many people have actually been sentenced to death and have since been carried out?
Just look up the
And then all of a
Innocence
sudden,
Project.
and then all of a exactly,
that's what it's called, the Innocent Project.
Yeah, that's
Couldn't remember
exactly
the name of it.
that's
Sorry.
what I was. That's what I was getting to, and you
Yeah.
you kind of blew my
Sorry.
punchline. But like that's the whole kind of issue on it, and you're just like, well, and then do you know what the thing is? But there's no retribution for that person.
Oh, and also, the Innocence Project is not just America.
Oh
Ireland
yeah,
as
no,
well.
yeah, they do it for all over. But like even
And there was a
Amnesty
recent guy in Ireland.
on death row.
No, not that. Well, he was hanged. He was hanged. It's that like they're old.
They're old, and
Yeah.
I remember right, he was hanged because we did have the death penalty at one point.
Yeah, but I think we stopped. We stopped in the 40s. I want to
It
say.
was a very short period of time, I think.
We didn't have it very long. France only stopped in the 70s.
Yeah.
The first Star Wars movie was actually in cinemas when France had their last execution, and it was the guillotine.
Actually, yeah. Actually,
It was a Romanian chap was actually the last one. Although he was a convicted sex offender.
you were right here. Actually, it was 1964 was the last
Yeah. We still had the death penalty for capital,
for capital
punishment.
punishment. Yes,
so killing a guard.
but it was abolished outright in 1990.
Mm.
Yeah.
So it was like, it was just never. So it was like wasn't enforced.
It wasn't enforced.
No.
Typical Ireland. We just don't use it, and then we're like, we should really get rid of that.
But isn't that the same
But
way
like-
though? Like there's laws
but
that
like-
just get people forget-abouts.
But it's not even
Yeah.
that. It's not even that done sentence, because if you're imposing a death penalty, this is the way the American system works, right? So when you're imposing the death penalty, the reason why it does drag on for as long as it does is because you've now invoked the death penalty, and you're going to be sentenced someone to death. They have 7 different appeals that they can go through, and they take years.
Yeah.
Which is why it's like you're probably going to be on death row for 40 to 60 years.
Yes.
Like chances are you're going to die in prison. You might not die by a lethal injection, but you probably
You'll
will
just
still
die
die
generally,
in
exactly.
prison because of how long this is going to take anyway. So I just think it's one of those things you're just like, ugh. I understand the emotion behind it, but I would never be. I'd be one of those people in the jury being like, ooh. It's like, I don't want this. I don't want. It's like, is the death penalty an option? Yeah, it is. Oh, I can't work this case.
But see,
I want to hear about it afterwards. I'll happily
Yeah.
sit in the gallery and listen to every dirty detail. And if you have photos, show them all by all means. But I don't want to be the one making the decision on whether or not this person lives or dies.
yeah, well,
Because what if we're wrong?
again, I'm quite relieved with the 2 times I've been called. They've been for very banal things. The worst thing was an assault, and that was it. But it was.
I love it, whereas if I'm called, I'm like, murder or nothing. Is this a murder case? No, actually, it's a Grand Theft Auto. I'm out.
Sentence him to death anyway.
I'm out.
I just,
Life imprisonment for wasting my time.
I also find it quite hypocritical.
Which the death
That's
penalty?
it.
Oh, it
Yeah.
is totally hypocritical.
It's
Because
very-
you're killing somebody because they killed somebody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they do
it's
it
very
as,
tit for tat.
but
Yeah.
it's very an eye for an eye.
Yes.
This is what it says
Yeah.
in the Bible.
I-
We're going
yeah,
by the
I get
Bible
it.
on an eye for an eye, like America.
However, the Bible is
America.
also like, well, you know.
You can pick a
Oh,
verse. You can
forgive.
always pick a verse to prove
Oh,
your
hold on a
argument.
minute. This,
Yeah.
Also, anyone who says that the Bible is all forgiven, you've never read the Bible.
No, but this is what I mean. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
on one hand it says this, and then on the but look,
depends on which testament we're reading.
Everyone
Yeah.
says it. Hey, look, it's the Old Testament. Everyone dies.
and who's reading it and what they want you to do and
Yeah.
believe.
Oh, sure. If everyone like kind of interprets it. I'm all this is it's open to interpretation. The Bible is fan fiction. It was
It's
written
four
by 4
different
lads,
anthologies of
right?
fan fiction.
It
Yeah.
was written by 4 lads who were like, I think this is what happened. I think this is what happened. I have a side quest going on in my ones. Do you guys want to get in on it?
I just love that. It's just
This
like,
was collaborated against with Matthew and John wrote this one together, but they're going to put Luke's name on it. It was one
it
chap.
was all one big.
There was one
hook-up,
guy
yeah.
who just did it under different scenes.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that. It was like all 4 of them said, "Look, right, guys, well, I need to take different angles to this."
I'm not gonna
You
lie.
two-
If we have mass flooding tonight, it's down to our blasphemy.
It's down to the.
Bullshit. Although
Gods! I'm gonna go Old Testament on your ass. Get your ark. Anyone
my
see
singing
Clun
teacher,
Turf
right?
today?
The girl who's getting married,
Yeah.
she fell off her bike. Not her bike, her husband to be's bike on Sunday.
Did she hurt herself?
Smashed her 2 front teeth. She got them fixed. They look exactly like her old teeth.
Sorry.
Composite.
Sorry,
Great.
that's funny.
Her mother
I'm sorry,
told her,
it's God because you had sex.
no,
Oh.
no. She doesn't pray enough to God. She fell off the bike. I pray for you every night. And when the girl turned around and says, she obviously isn't praying hard enough either.
Oh, I was like, do you mean to tell me that God decided I'm gonna fuck up your front teeth
No.
because you don't give me enough attention?
It's actually physicists have proven this. God just controls gravity. It's true. It's written somewhere. Anywhere. I don't know.
I like that Jonathan on learning.
Yeah, you take one.
But one.
Yeah.
So you don't have the whole bike to yourself. I know how this works.
I love how these are may contain. God, they're so good though. Why don't you tell me what cheese is there? Well, hey.
Cheese powder
No, I
A.
did not.
Cheese powder B.
One's a cheddar, I know that for sure.
Mm.
This was me, Damien, and Paul when we were trying to get the mouse out of our cupboard.
They're sneaky fuckers.
There.
He fucking full on Tom Cruise Mission Impossible. So I will never forget Paul. And then jumping onto the couch, and then my mum going like, Amy, don't be screaming. And I was like, Damien, that was Paul. That was Mr. Army Man himself. He came at me like, I didn't know what to do. He screamed, you little bitch.
Whereas I
How
didn't
cute he
when
is.
one
He is.
ran over my foot. And
I like
it wasn't a mouse. It was a rat.
Mm.
There's something wrong when you have a rat in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my mother putting clothes out on the line at stupid o'clock in the morning because she couldn't sleep. Left the door open and went into the house. And made its way upstairs and into her bedroom.
How the fuck would you not hear that? like a mouse, I can understand, but a rat, I'm sure would be like,
Morning!
When I was asleep,
like their
Christopher-
tails, like would
Yeah.
be whipping
Christopher
yours.
sleeps like the dead. He was actually quite quiet and nimble on his feet. I will say that. So there was a little gap at the back of their slide-in wardrobe.
That's how the mouse ones in our house were moving
Yeah.
around.
And so Mum found out a couple of nights later. Or a night later, I'm not sure.
I hope it was only a night later, not a couple of nights later.
So do
Because
I.
Ryan, I was like, I knew I felt something touch against my cheek. I was like, it just wrapping like,
So it stayed there.
going away.
She heard a plastic bag rattle. And then saw the whiskers.
Yeah.
And screamed the house down.
To be fair, I can give her that. That's,
Yes.
Yeah.
So I flew out of my door, my bedroom, thinking, what the fuck's going on here? There's a mouse in the house! It's a little bit more high pitched than that. But
But it's hilarious.
Oh!
They have picked the cutest possible
Bastard.
mouse. Yeah.
Bastard.
Oh, you're so cute with
You
your
didn't even
beady
put
little
the-
eyes and your big ears. Oh.
Um,
Although to be fair, actually, I know someone who had pet rats. I know someone who had pet rats
I
before,
work with somebody who
and
has pet rats.
they
Yeah, same
were
here.
the most
What?
cleanliest. I've never seen
Jenny
clean.
has a pet rat.
I've never
Yeah,
seen
had.
cleaner animals.
Yeah.
I could, and like the guy thing is, she's like, "Do you want to hold?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And I was like, they literally were just like, I think it was Rizzo. He just like put the perch on my shoulder. We'd be watching. Yeah, we'd be literally chilling watching TV, and I'd have Rizzo like sitting on my shoulder, and like every now and again, I'd be like, and I hear. I was like, oh my god, you're the cutest fucking thing I've ever had on my shoulder.
It's not an actual rat she has, as I recall, it's a gerbil. She has. It's
That's
not. It's not the thing.
different.
It's not the thing. She did have a pet rat for a while.
Where the fuck did gerbils come from?
Hamsters.
Mm.
Those are mine.
Where did they come from?
It's.
Where the fuck are they found in the wild? Right? Because I've only ever seen them in pet shops.
I think they classify as wild mice, but I'm not sure. I'd have to look.
Find out where they're native
I will,
to.
I
and
will.
Where the fuck every pet shop in the world
I don't know
is
why
important.
Gibraltar is coming into my head.
Yes, definitely confirmed rodents anyway.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, we
Just-
we had the bed on its side. It's
Oh,
the
God.
big Super King.
Oh god.
On its side, the mattress is on the landing, blocking my mum off from the room. She is still outside screaming her head off, whereas me and Christopher are trying not to laugh as we move the bed around to try and find the fucker. Yeah, they slept downstairs in the sitting room. And the following day, now this is after about 2 hours of trying to coax this fucker out. I was like, that's rainbows.
Yep, I know. I'm doing it now. I was reading about hamsters.
Where are you from?
Syria.
Syria.
Yep. The most
Um,
common hamster, as in the ones that you normally see on TV, the golden hamster, are Syrian.
So they're being imported from Syria.
No, that's where the genus comes from. So like, yeah, well, I suppose initially it would have been, but the actual like in the same way like I don't know, like there's an Irish wolfhound and stuff.
Oh
like
no
that,
no
you
no!
know?
What I mean is like, where did it come? Like, what I'm looking for, where's its origins? No.
Oh yeah, the actual
yeah.
genus. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
so-
at that stage yet, but bear with me.
Yeah, it's just like, because obviously it's stowed away in a fucking boat somewhere. Someone caught them and then they multiplied, and then that's how they obviously get bred. But you
Yeah,
only
like-
ever fucking find them in
You
pet
see,
shops.
they're in the
Whereas
same family.
gerbils-
They were in the same family as voles and lemmings, right? So they're all would have been woodland creatures at some stage, and then obviously some of them domesticated because they couldn't survive in the wild.
Whereas gerbils like clay or sandy deserts, grasslands, scrub, arid steeps, or mountain valleys.
Yes.
So like there's a Mongolian gerbil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing is
I
Syria.
can imagine like ones that you're finding them in pet shops are obviously going to obviously they're going to be domesticated,
Yeah, so
but they're
Asia,
also
Africa,
bred.
and Middle East for
Yeah.
germs.
Yep, actually they were imported from Syria and Israel. That's where you get hamsters from. And then they were
because what's
bred them.
best that it's some conqueror bringing home a exotic animal
Yeah,
I wouldn't even put it down
for
as
their
that.
kid.
I wouldn't even put it down as that. I'd say they're stowaways.
no, they were actually used as for lab experiments.
Shocker.
Because this was
Why would you bring the we're ignoring that option.
Yeah.
Everyone knows that one. Why
well
would you
this
actually
was
say
in
it?
1930, and it was mostly to the US. So the US were using it, and basically they were kind of shit at it, to be honest with you, because after a while, everyone just accepted that mice just generally were better, whereas lemmings. Oh, pardon scene.
Sorry, no, not even like no. It's just you never actually find out what his crime is.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. He accidentally killed a man over a pair of boots.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's
what he's in prison for. Also, there in the book there is another prisoner.
Yeah.
It's a female librarian.
Yeah.
Who murdered her husband as he was beating her. So she
Yeah.
was an abused woman and she was sentenced to death row.
Mm.
But the system decided that they couldn't kill her.
Mm.
So her death sentence was overturned and she was eventually freed.
Yeah.
And she actually, and Paul explains it in the book, that she went on to become a librarian.
Yeah.
And she died of old age outside. So, but yeah.
I don't know if this story kind of make the cut, but I remember like on one of the residents that my dad had as a DJ. It was in Talbot Street, and one of the guys just come in. It was a fella, I think his name was Leo or something like that. I can't remember, but I got talking to him after a while. He was not a bad sort, basically, but he was very quiet and kind of took to himself and all that. You know.
Manslaughter.
Yes, actually, yeah, he was in prison for several years for manslaughter. Literally, was like someone was starting a fight with him. He literally, it was like one of those lucky punches where a lucky punch, he staggered back, knocked his head off, and killed him.
I wouldn't call it a lucky punch. I'd say a sucker punch.
Sucker punch is how is how it was described to me.
One-punch death.
Yeah, one punch death. Yeah, but like I said, like when you realize the guy you've been talking to is a kind of an ex-prisoner in a sense. When you pick up on the certain personality types in as well, that like from the way he kind of looked at you, just like there was a kind of a hollowness behind the eyes, like just whatever was happening when he was in there just took the life out of him.
Could you imagine someone like nowadays, like who went into prison in like let's say the end of '89, and then they were let out in 2003, and you're just kind of like
The culture
what
change,
the fuck is that in your hand?
Yeah.
Like.
Hilarious enough, there's a game that I played, Driver Parallel Lines, that's the actual plot, where like the guy is like, the first half of the game is in the 70s, and you're doing all this fucking fun, like, oh, we've discovered this new drug called cocaine, and we're selling it on the streets of fucking whatever it is, and then he gets stitched up.
Fair, cocaine was like the miracle cure-all.
It really fucking was, yeah. But he gets stitched up, and then he serves 24 years in Sing Sing, comes out, and literally everything is new to him. It's just like, hey, I'll get you one of those things. What do you mean, a cappuccino? Yeah, whatever it's called. And he's there, like, one of the scenes is him trying to see what a remote is, and he keeps putting the hi-fi on with an accent. But that's genuine though, like, because like, the world has moved on in 20 years, like, especially nowadays. Jesus.
I like this technically. It happens in The Boys.
Yeah.
He's like, you made up those words. And you're like, that is actually what it would be like for someone.
So it's also the trench humor as well, isn't it? Like.
Are you connected to the Wi-Fi? I know these things.
I knew a guy in prison called Wi-Fi. He died. It's like, oh, okay.
My granddad's funeral. We were watching Family Guy the night before, and it was like every single one was Blood of Christ. Wow, that guy must have been loaded 24 hours a day. And we were watching all the grannies drink, and we were just like, my dad just straight away, shut the fuck up, all of you. That's a real like.
Yeah, because the more he's drawn attention to it, then the more you're breaking.
Look, and then what broke the ice? Forget About Dre started blaring from my brother's phone. It was his ringtone at the time, and everyone was just like. And we're just like, try not to laugh.
You were...
Paul is like this. like in his pocket trying
Yeah.
to turn it off, and then eventually it just stopped ringing. And Paul was like, so it's like, this is one of the old block-ys as well, so
Yeah.
I'm ready to turn them off.
You have to break the big fucking button at the
Like,
top.
and he's like, put it back in, and then afterwards when we were all like, we'd had the meal,
Mm.
and Margaret, who was the grieving widow, did anyone else hear that music going off? And how disrespectful. And Paul's like, yeah, what a prick.
You are...
And he just walked away, and we were
You
just
have
like,
the most unserious fucking family. It's like...
we're like, when someone dies in our family, there's a 12-hour period of crying.
Yeah.
Everything else after that is like, that fucking prick. She fucking ruined my birthday.
But
Like,
you,
how
need, but
dare
you need
they?
that levity, though.
Like,
you do
it
need
just,
that.
it turns it, I remember, so Margaret died on bank holiday, May bank holiday weekend.
Mm.
And my mum's birthday is the 30th of April. And they'd booked to go to Krakow for my mum's birthday. And Dad's like, we're not going to be able to go because the home, the nursing home, or the hospice had said that she was kind of like on her last legs.
Yeah.
So my mum was like, okay, we'll cancel it. And they couldn't get their money back for it. And my mum was like, that bitch has fucking hated me since the day I married your father, and now she has the audacity to fucking die on my... Where the fuck does she get off? And meanwhile, I'm like in the car with Mum as we're on our way to the hospice to visit her, and I'm just like, well, Grandad died 2 days after my birthday, and we didn't even get to celebrate it. So if anything, it's just the McGee's are inconsiderate with their deaths. And she's like, you fucking are inconsiderate with how you die.
We have so many Christmas
But,
deaths
like-
in the family. Like,
But
holy
like this
crap.
is
Like.
the like when we got into the hospital, and then it's like obviously my mother is a completely different person, and she's like, do you need us to get you anything? And she's like, no, that's grand. And Margaret, bless her, she was like, I'm so sorry about your birthday. And Mom's like, please stop, don't worry about it. My birthday's every year, it's grand, don't worry about it. And I'm like,
know what you said in the
and
car.
I'm just like, whoa, where the fuck? I was like, I want this woman to stay with us for the rest of our time. I was like, I want this version of Yvonne. And then that was grand. And then we were driving home. She's like, she was talking over us, and she was saying that she's chuffed out and we're not going to Krakow now. I was like, oh my god. And it was like that was like the moment. But like, I just thought it was one of those things. I was like, and then like on Mom's side of the family, when Damien was going through his first wedding, and Pat was ill, and his was like, Damien's wedding was the 14th of December, and my mom's like, God, I can't enjoy this wedding at all. And Damien's like, cheers for that, Mom. And she's like, no, it's because Pat, I can't enjoy myself knowing that my brother's probably going to die. And Damien's like, I can't change the date of the wedding, man. You understand that? And she's like, I know, it's not your fault. It's her fault. She's the one that picked the date. And my mom, we were just like, welcome to the family. She's just upset. That woman had the fucking time of her life at the afters.
Yeah.
Right? And then obviously 2 days later we got the call and they all went up to the hospice and he had passed away, and she goes, well, he's at rest now, and like it's fine, he's at rest now. And Damien's like, won't be able to celebrate my fucking wedding anniversary now knowing that's going to be followed 2 days later by Pat's death anniversary. And my mum went, sure, your fucking Uncle Carl on your dad's side, don't forget he died 3 days before our fucking wedding anniversary. The McGee's ruin everything. And we're just like, my dad's like this.
All little block.
That's fair.
So, when you have the evidence presented in front of you, it's hard to deny it.
It's like, that's fair. And he goes,
Empirical
but, like,
evidence.
The best thing about it is though, it's only like dates significant to Mom. Like
Yes.
her wedding anniversary and her birthday. And she's like, you McGee's ruined everything to do with me. And we're just kind of like,
You are a McGee now.
Yeah.
Get over it.
Welcome to the family.
like, bitch, you chose this family.
Yeah.
Hold on, too.
I looked it up. There were 29 people executed in Ireland under the death penalty.
That's it.
That's
Yep.
it.
Most of them were hung. The
At
hanging.
Kilmainham or in Mountjoy.
Mountjoy.
Mountjoy. Oh, sure, it's in
'Cause
the
it's
hanging room
still
in Mountjoy.
there.
Yeah. They still bring tours there. skill terms, not actual terms.
I
I felt we need to kind of emphasise that, because Kilmainham jail, when they were hanging people, it was actually in the front.
Yeah.
That the archer, they used to hang them from there, whereas...
Just like the idea is just like, right, come on, and now we can see all of our murderers. Yes, don't ignore the frothing.
The last person to be executed was in 1954.
Significantly better than the French in the 70s.
Yeah.
Yeah. However, we were the last to constitutionally ban the death penalty.
But yeah, solely because we
In
probably
Europe.
just yeah.
Probably same for divorce.
Yeah.
But see, I guarantee.
However, won the first by popular vote to for marriage for anyway.
Yeah.
They had to get a executioner over from England.
Please.
It's so long since
was
we've done this.
Was he
don't
dressed
have
up
one.
medieval style? Was he like the
His
cloak?
own- I brought my own cloak.
Hold on, where's it gone?
Yeah, so
I brought the horses. Are we still doing a draw? No.
I have to wear the cowl and I can't wear a shirt. These are my
He
conditions.
was hung by Albert Pierrepoint, who had travelled. Bastard. The page decided to refresh itself. He travelled from Britain, where he was one of 3 senior executioners. So we obviously didn't even have an executioner at that point.
No.
So he had executed at least 400 people in his career as a hangman. 13 of those in Mountjoy. And the hanghouse remains there today.
If you're going to get a death penalty, which one would you prefer? Lethal injection, hanging, firing squad?
Lethal injection, you wouldn't know a thing.
Yeah. Well,
When they do it right with
they
the
do it right,
proper
yes.
chemicals.
Yeah.
I think
There's-
I'd like firing squad.
There has been
purely
quite-
because I could do like a Mercutio, a plague on all your houses, and then like, now shoot you bastards. We're in an archway. Now do it. Now fucking do it.
What's
I probably deserve it, to be fair.
No, you know what?
You'll hear someone go, "I'm going for the fucking headshot."
if you
Definitely not hanging anyway because
Oh god,
doesn't
no!
stick.
There's way
Yeah, it
too much
doesn't
things can
stick,
go wrong.
Yeah, the firing throw would be good fun because you can imagine just like when they started going and just try to put up pull. It's like,
wrong lever, clump.
see which ones have ADHD. Squirrel. Whoa, where? That would be good fun. And then you obviously get shot in the head, but that's at least you have your bit of levity though before you. It's like,
You get to choose your own version of the death penalty. I'll take crucifixion.
That's it.
please.
Is it crucifixion?
Don't they?
No, actually, I go
Is
free.
there option in America still?
Crucifixion?
No, not
it's
crucifixion, but that you can choose.
They
your,
I don't think
your
they
way
still
of
have
death.
it, but I don't think they do still have it. But at one point it was, how do you want to die? And a lot of them seem to go for the electric chair. More theatrical. When you think about it, like.
I suppose, yeah, it depends on which part of your
It's like,
psychology
I
you're
want the
kowtowing
smell
to.
of my death to stick with you.
Yeah.
fuckers, like.
What's more traumatizing for the people I've had to prison me like?
I think though as well, like if someone had murdered a member of my family, I think actually I'd prefer you to rot in prison. I don't want you to die because that's just the easy way out.
Yeah, exactly. But
Either way, you're going to end up in hell if that's what you believe. So I'd rather you live through it first.
But that's also one aspect of what Kira's mentioned earlier on about the hypocrisy of it all. It's like that, like is it actually justice to have an eye for an eye, or is it actually more justice for that person's life and rights and everything else to be taken
For
away
people
from
on
them?
the outside, everyone has an opinion, but until you're actually in that situation, I think it's one. I don't think you'll ever really be able to answer that question.
Yeah.
Unless you're in the unless it's like it's your daughter. I don't know why I'm using daughter, but unless it's like it's that majority. Let's put it that way, because like the majority of men are going to kill a woman. But I think it's in that sense, and depending of the brutality of how they've done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, chances are I'd rather this person die so they never have a chance of doing it to someone else.
And
again.
but there's also like a different interpretation of justice as well.
Yeah.
Like, where do you think it's actually, is it justice for them to die?
I mean, Texas, they seem to walk out of the womb whether they're wanted or not, having that justice of I can't wait to kill someone.
But that's just the mentality of the states as well, isn't it? Like Texas is a law unto himself, the same way Florida is, and the Bible Belt and everything else. Whereas if you go to California and Colorado, they're all woke and having them stay in prison and not have to spend $6 million on a lethal injection. You know, what crazy people are they? Like,
It's
you know.
not slow at 6 million, but I think at
Yeah.
least in the States when it's a life sentence without parole, it's a life sentence.
Yeah, that's true.
Here, after you're meant to get 27 years is considered a life
It's a
sentence.
minimum sentence is 24 years.
Well, that's
sorry.
far off. However,
so a
you get
minimum
released
sentence for
way
life.
further.
Yeah.
Depending on it kind of depends on what you do in prison. That's going to prolong your sentence. But life is considered it would be considered a
24, yeah.
Which even, like, my dad was always one of these people. It was like, life should mean life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Without the possibility
That
of parole.
I agree with.
Like, that's what because my dad, obviously, from what my dad's job was,
Yeah.
he's seen a lot of people that they have arrested and he's like, that fucker is out.
Yeah.
When they shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sweden actually Scandinavian countries have the right idea about prisons. So the way they work it is, prison is what it was originally meant to be. It's a rehabilitation. They actually go out of their way to try and rehabilitate
people,
somebody. And if they don't pass the markers of rehabilitation, you're staying here until you're staying here until you understand that what you did was wrong.
But it's the same thing with anything else. Like, I think it came up in a conversation at our last week of days about how prisons are essentially a business in the US.
Oh yeah.
With the private business, it is a money making exercise. It is an incentive for them to imprison and to keep people in and
when we
to.
were watching Shawshank, that's what.
Yeah, we're watching Shawshank, and that's where it came up. Whereas, like everyone.
2 prison movies in a row.
Yeah, I know, on a roll.
Did we not have Misery in between?
No, with Misery, then Shawshank,
Misery was
then
the first one,
yeah.
yeah.
But
That's what I thought it was. Do you know what it was? You were.
I was editing it last night.
That's why it's in my head. We have to listen to it.
Yes, but that's the thing. Like, it's like, because America are almost like, they need the prison system to be a business, because that is bringing in a certain amount of money into what is.
Because they're all privately owned.
They're privately owned.
Yeah. It's the same as hospitals.
Yeah, but that's the thing.
Every hospital in America seems to be a for-profit.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so if
absolutely.
you don't have insurance, get out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, you can leave.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like,
they're under fire at the moment because they actually left a patient on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
He was still in his gown.
Yeah.
He was in the process of receiving treatment. His insurance lapsed, and the doctor literally said, "Get him out." That is completely against your code.
Yeah.
But it's always the inner hypocrisy of America in a sense. And again, it's kind of like, it's like, well, watching these kind of movies now, and like Americans seeing the American system as well is obviously one goes without saying. But like, if America was to adopt that kind of let's actually try and rehabilitate this person and get them back into society, their country would be in such a better place. But they have such a self-fulfilling cycle of like,
I think
because most people that go into prison,
they don't like other people telling them what.
Oh, absolutely not. Like,
that's all it is.
The burden is on them to try and be the leader of the free world. Where, let's be honest,
Bullshit.
they've never been the leader of the free world.
Yeah.
They just kind of looked into it because everyone else was dying of war.
This is my favorite comment on America. They are a third world country wearing a Gucci belt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
that's all they are. They
yeah.
are a third world country in a Gucci belt, and it's not even a real Gucci belt.
Exactly.
Made in China.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't even
Along
make it
with all
themselves.
their flags that you are dying for, it's a fucking piece of cloth. My father died for that flag. Really, mine was made in China.
That's what always amuses me about like actual like Republicans in this country as well. Like they're the same way with their tricolour. It's a piece of cloth, lads. I don't give a fuck.
It's one of
Do
the
what you want
best
with
things as well. Is like, make America great again. It's like, why was none of this stuff made in America? Everything has been imported. Because it's shit.
But that's even the funniest part.
Because they don't even have proper employment laws to protect their workers.
But even the identifying thing of like a red cap is just like, not only is it like a really tacky colour, but just the material looks shite. It's like, this is the America you want? At least get good, like the good quality.
Flag is pretty class,
get better merchandise at least. Like, you know.
have to say, one thing I do really like about.
Am I wrong though?
America?
When you see a prick with a red cap, you just go, do you know what?
Sorry, I thought you were on about the flag. I was like, Stars and Stripes is actually a pretty.
No, it's a lovely. It's a beautiful flag. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely no problem.
I also like that whoever came up with the flag, because the whole Bessie Ross thing is that's not actually true.
Yeah.
But whoever did, that was the last time someone in America had an original thought.
Yeah.
I was like, we're going to do, all the stars are going to represent the states, and all the stripes are going to represent our colonies.
Yeah.
I was like, that is genius! Well fucking done!
Yeah.
When was the last time you had an original idea as good as that?
See,
Never!
You see, I am a bit of a nerd for flag myself, solely because, like, I think it's because I've been a football fan so long, that, like, I literally can pick out the World Cup just based off flags. And that's just, such a small crossover of skills. It's such a weird thing. It's like,
I'm going to do a flag dance for you, Jonathan.
Is the flag still behind Amy there?
No, I'm the fit.
Ah! We could have done the flag dance.
No.
Wait a minute.
Don't bring me into your sexual games.
No, it's happening.
No.
I love how you went no and he went, it's happening.
Flag dance! There you go.
Hold on. Oh my god! It's so much more fun doing it with an actual
Your flags,
flag.
yeah.
Oh, Bertbot's gonna be so disappointed.
Oh, don't worry, they'll be
Get
here.
the Curse of Monkey Island on, quick!
Where do you think we got the flag?
Rachel.
Well, technically, well, we were at a game with Rachel.
Yes. In fact, we went twice, therefore we have 4 flags.
Because we support women in this house.
We do.
They're gobshites.
Not as bad as
They do
men.
really well.
Oh, you mean actual football? I was like, women are fucking crazy too. So I support them. I'm one of them. It's like I'm seeing how quickly my mind changes. I'm like, actually, I couldn't understand why people want to kill me. Well, I am a piece of shit. I have the Bam Bam Bigelow. Maybe I'm not Bam Bam Abyss.
Vader.
Vader. Maybe I'm just a piece of
I'm
shit.
just a piece of fat shit. Doom, 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 doom.
Ah, it didn't work, you bastard.
When you were talking about copyright music a while ago, a tweet sent
That was
into
like
my head.
8 hours ago. From
It
when
was
we
8
started
hours
this
ago.
movie.
It was only because you went back to wrestling on it, because I remember watching WrestleMania 3, I want to say.
The music is completely different.
It is. But it's mostly Dusty Rhodes. No,
No,
it's not that. It's not that, right? But again, we all know the Dusty Rhodes music, the American Dream. But WWE don't own that song.
No, they don't.
It's owned by the actual original artist,
Yeah.
and she won't sell it back to them, which is
Good.
hilarious.
Good.
Yeah, fucking why not?
Good
But
woman.
the music they picked instead was
Oh, it's the Price's,
the Wheel of Fortune theme. Which you would have thought that, like, you know, Granada would own themselves. No, that's copyright free as well. In fact, a lot of game show tunes are
Sorry,
copyright
hold on a
free.
sec. Do you mean to tell me that the Wheel of Fortune is copyright free?
Copyright free. This music is, yeah.
We need to do on the RPG. We need to do like a Russian roulette, like
Yeah.
a roulette type thing, but it's the Wheel of Fortune theme song. Is the
I think I checked one time because I was using like those jingles for something. I can't remember what it was, but like half the game show themes are like public domain.
This made me hate Sam Rockwell for a long time. This film did. Nowhere near as close to as Kevin Bacon and Sleepers, but it was up there.
Yeah.
I couldn't watch any movie with Kevin Bacon after seeing Sleepers for the first time. I was like, oh.
I'm trying to think. Do I have a movie that's put me off somebody?
This is how I find to be a very unrealistic depiction of police officers in America, because he didn't take the shot.
Yeah. But Tom Hanks is a policeman with a conscience.
Is he?
When it suits him. When it suits him.
Yeah, some of the actions that he does in this movie,
Yeah.
you're kind of questioning, like,
When,
sure.
yeah, when it suits him.
There you
We
go.
actually have one of them at home. We have a police baton
Yeah.
at home, and it's one of the original ones with the steel rods.
There is an actual. Is it called a
Like,
baton
it's
or is it
steel-
called a battle?
no.
It's something.
It's technically this one is a baton.
Yeah. Oh, you actually have to. Okay, yeah, I know. Or
Are you
the.
thinking of truncheon?
No, not truncheon. There's
Right.
another one. Yeah.
There's
Anyway.
this one has, it's actually a piece of steel,
Yes.
but it wood around it.
Jesus.
That's what the guards were originally walking around with.
Yeah.
That is. And
That has somehow like more intimidating than than any kind of firearm.
And the
It's
one
like,
that they go take it and go.
it's like that's just like.
that's my. I fucking love that. Damien has one of them, and he's like, I'm not gonna lie. I probably spend most of my time at home playing with this. And I was like, I fuck.
It's not white.
It's not white.
Now we have batons. God damn it, Amy, you are really evolving as a person. So, anyway, talk about this massive stick. What makes you so happy about this?
But no, when Damien, when he's at home and it's basically, it's like the lads have a game to see who can do it
You can flick it fastest.
fastest, or who can actually get to fully
You can flick
extend in
the
one
stick,
thing on it. And but we were at the house. This was down in Longford, and we were just down at the house, and I was like, let me try it, and I did it, and I whipped myself with it.
Ow.
Right, and it was like right on the shin.
No.
And Damien just went, oh. Sarah went, oh. The dogs were not in the room with us, and I just went. And Damien was like, I'm going to help you sit down. I was like, and it looked like, it looked like a fucking laser, right? Had sliced through my leg. It was that red.
Yeah.
It looked like a laser had gone through my leg.
It was that pinpoint fucking
it was like
hit
Sarah,
right there.
Sarah joked and she goes, it looks like the cut marker of where your leg is going to be amputated.
Yeah.
And it was like at a 40-degree angle, like how I hit it. But Jesus. If I was going to have a healing power, I wouldn't want to have to touch the area where they're infected, or like where the injury is, or something. I'd like to have the cast motif of just going boop, and just been like, you're healed, or if you're Dean.
So no, I don't. I do like the idea.
It's actually it's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in that show, is when because I'm binging it when you're watching your back. Wow, he really does like fully on touch Jensen when he's doing it, but when he's healing, or Dean when he's doing it, but when he's healing Sam, he's like, it's like realistically, I'm nearly 100% sure. It's like I'm nearly sure that Cass can actually heal someone without having to touch them.
Or is
but he's just like, I just want to touch Dean.
No, it's more so just like I like the idea of the touch power, because then Kira has hay fever. Boop. I didn't work the first time. Boop. No, still there. Boop, boop, boop. Maybe it's further up the sinus. I don't know.
That was a loud snap. No!
I'm trying to cure your hay fever.
So is that actually from where the mic should be sitting? Is just
No, do you know what it was? It's because like at one point I was trying to like put out the foam insert and like wedge the Yeti in, but I just got lazy. I said I'll just rest on the sponge instead. That's the level of my production here, folks. Is that like I have
that
sponge?
sounds like he just
So wait,
told
you
me a
only
sex
wanted-
story, but he decided to PG it up.
Yeah,
I was
So you want to
gonna.
cut out like that much of the circle?
pretty
So
much
it's
just
just-
a little indent. Yeah,
You can
Okay.
use that with like
Yeah.
literally a penknife.
I know. It's just but like
Like literally, that's what I'm like. I have a scalpel inside.
yeah, we just never got around to it.
Play
For
doctor.
art.
Yeah, for science.
We played doctor.
No.
We played doctor.
Art.
What I do is Jonathan sits in the front room for 45 minutes after his appointment, and then when he comes in, I tell him there's nothing wrong with him, and then he goes again.
But that's so unrealistic. I mean, it's at least 6 months now in the HSE.
No, GP doctor.
Oh, yeah, same difference. I wish I was joking about that 6 month, by the way.
And the rest.
Yeah, I don't. What's the point of having an appointment time at a doctor's when you're never going to get seen to at that time?
It's an estimate.
Oh, yeah, 2:00, and then you don't get seen until 4:30 is not an estimate. If
Now,
anything,
do you think?
actually, I take that back because my doctor's office now. Holy shit, they're on the fucking ball. If your appointment is at 1:00, they will see you by 1 minute past 1. Oh, milk bottle.
I love milk bottles.
I love milk tea.
Mm.
Oh, especially when you get the powder one. Oh. I love that, like, they did this, and then, like, I think the next movie they did together was, like, Toy Story.
Yeah,
They're just like, nah.
two very different movies.
It's one of the things where I was like, oh, it's the mom from Beethoven.
Mm.
She got bitch had her own talk show. Like, the Bonnie Hunt show was a legit thing. I love as well, like, I think she's just, like, actually wearing an apron.
Mm.
I was like, you fucking 50s housewife.
Yeah.
She's also done with his shit.
Like,
She's like... Also, I don't know why, but see the way the shirt has, like, the... for where the badge would go?
Yes.
Like, the badge numbers go. It used to bother the fuck out of me that the suspender
are over them.
were over.
Yeah.
I was like... Because you unclip them. Like, you unclip them from the bottom. You can unclip them from the bottom, or you can...
Yeah, actually, that is kind of... The more I'm looking at it, I'm thinking, like...
It would make more sense to have it underneath the
Yeah,
fucking
it's
button,
like
the flap.
even the mechanics of it's like, what the... No, it's...
Also, as well, I don't understand the point of wearing suspenders plus a belt. You're defeating the purpose of one of these objects.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point of suspenders is so you don't need the belt.
Belts, yeah, exactly. Is it? It's maybe it's almost a time to place it in time as well, like, because...
We should bring suspenders back.
Yeah.
Suspenders were the shit.
Better than having like a belt digging into you when you sit a certain way.
Yeah. Instead, you can have that little clip
Mm-hmm.
digging into you. That's only one spot, and then you just need to go like that. You can literally tuck a shirt into it, and that will stop that shit.
Yeah.
Blah. But there's originally, I think the family of the dead girls originally have a dog. They have a dog in the book,
Yeah.
and one of the biggest things was the dog was fed like a link of sausages or something like that. Cause
Yeah.
it would have been like, he was fed a link of sausages, so that's why he didn't alert the family. So clearly John gave him the sausages
Yes.
to lure the girls out, so the dog wouldn't notify any of them.
Mm.
So what happens is Paul's reading this and he has an idea in his head. So when he's on the mile one day, he unties his shoe, takes it off and gives it to John, says, can you tie that lace? And John's like, I don't know how to tie a lace. And he's like, oh, okay, no worries, okay, that's grand. So he takes the shoe back and he ties it up and he goes off and he's like, alright, that's fine. So he goes off upon his day. And then he starts kind of thinking of this true, and he goes, well, when they found John Coffey, his lunch was on him. That was tied up neatly in a bow.
Ah,
So
okay.
you're like, if he fed the dog the sausages, how did he re-tie up the lunch?
Yeah.
If he can't even tie his
It's
shoelaces.
shoelaces, yeah, true.
So that was one of the main reasons. That was one of the reasons where, like, Paul is like, I don't think he actually did this.
Yeah.
Because there's evidence is indicating, because granted the biggest evidence that they have was he was found with the two dead girls in his hands and he was covered in their blood.
Well, that's the thing. After seeing, like, but then, like, this is at the stage in the movie where if you're watching it for the first time and you see what he's done with his condition there, you're thinking, oh, that's what he's actually was trying to do there, and you're starting to make the connection before the movie does. But it's the same thing now. You're kind of trying to ask the eternal question, well, what actually happened then?
Oh
what,
no!
You know,
what,
why are we here?
What you see at the start is exactly what happened.
Yeah. I get that. But that's the same. This way, at the point that you're starting to
It's
figure
not.
out why.
But when this is the thing is when they're reading the transcript and it's explaining and like the lads all rushed around.
Yes.
None of that is an embellishment on anyone's side. That's exactly how it happens.
Yeah.
They come across him screaming out, crying, holding them like that way. So it isn't like, oh, we found the monster and he was like sort of thing. It's like, no, this is exactly how we found him. So like none of that's an actual embellishment, if you get me. So
yes.
like because they didn't. No one had to say it. No one had to add anything to it.
Yeah, it was grotesque enough as a
Yeah.
Pikachu going for an adventure.
Obviously not all offenders, but like Jesus, they are fucking luminous pink.
It's because of it's a black on black. It's just
And
the
then all of a
contrast. It's like so Amy's decided to come up there as the hair foundation for some reason for the contrast alone.
My Barbie.
Yeah, that's it. No,
Barbie.
Barbie Oppenheimer. Yeah. The ratios are complete different. So you can see which movie she preferred.
Also, if anyone calls me out on this bullshit, I don't give a shit. Yes, I'm wearing Eagles merch. Yes, I have previously worn Bears merch, but I've also worn Cowboys merch on this channel. Don't come at me. Alright? I just like the clothes. I don't give a shit about the teams at this point. I'm forever going to be following losers. Do not call me out on it. It's not a bandwagoner. It's just I prefer the logo. I love that line. Oh.
I don't know why, like my face, my eyes have to kind of calibrate every time that guy's on screen, because I see Simon Pegg first, and then I see the actual actor second. No, it's not him. It's someone else. There's like a certain there's like a certain point where he's like his face becomes Simon Pegg, and then actually turns into who he actually is.
David Morris.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's purely my head just like processing him. Like it's just like Simon Pegg. I don't know. It's like a split second, and then it's like, oh no.
Simon Pegg only wished to be that tall.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's purely I think it's the hairline.
Oh, it's the ears.
It's the ears. That's what it
Ears,
is.
yeah.
Yes.
Come on, fuckstick.
Oh, belt versus baton. The Amy Darby.
Piss on me. I love the way he's like, oh shit. That would hurt.
It would hurt, yeah, the pressure.
So fucking much.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell that they don't have an actual pressure on it.
No.
Really?
It's just,
fuck,
yeah.
Fuck me. If you've
But also,
ever
it's
actually seen how fast that water comes
Yeah.
down.
And it's I assume the cold as well with just the body would go through the shock, the
Like,
spasms.
so fucking painful.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason why water cans are used in crowd dispersal.
Is the water warmed up first?
Can you put a bit of soap in it? I've got some Radox here if you want it.
I think I'm the only person in history that'd be like, I'm fine with solitary.
It's like, oh, fun, yeah, fucking nap.
Can I stay in here? Like, these are fucking padded.
That's the thing. Whenever we leave the house of Tina's guard, I was like, you think because she overstimulates so much and is so hyper that she'd like tear the place apart or something. No, literally, once she is just like in control of the house, oh, she's just it's just like I'm done.
I don't have to be on.
It's like she has nothing. There's nothing that can happen around her, you know, kind of way. It's just like finally, that's just some dead silence that I can do absolutely nothing in.
Commemorate the space launch.
Yeah.
So they had it and all those things, and it was like, it was really cool. And Paul was like, because they're just wagon wheels. Like,
Yeah.
So Paul took a bite of his, and he was just like, oh my god, they actually give these to people.
It's the same as anything else. Like whenever you actually give an American some actual proper chocolate, it's like you've just like changed their world.
They go ape shit over Cadbury's.
Yeah. But listen, but they have to,
Amazing.
it's so ridiculous they have to get it fucking imported over because it doesn't count as chocolate because of the FDA's really fucking stupid rules on it.
To be fair, they use sour milk in Hershey's.
Yeah, but that's what this is exactly my point.
That's
is that,
why
like,
your chocolate tastes like shit.
it does taste like shit. Like it really fucking does.
Although I'm okay with your Reese's Pieces.
I'm not.
The Reese's,
yeah.
the Reese's cups actually, the chocolate they use on Reese's cups is actually legit chocolate.
Yeah.
Which again, it's like I don't even think they're different companies.
But even the same with their American bread, like you know, they actually like
there's so much sugar in their
it's
bread.
practically cake.
Like
No
Wonder
wonder they're all
Bread.
yeah.
Like get fucked.
No, they're all fucking fat.
Also, Australia, I have an issue here. What the fuck is your version of Wonder Bread? Fairy bread. Sorry, fairy bread. Use butter, white bread, and then put sprinkles on it. Lads, bake the fucking cake. Like that's just.
All you're missing is the jam and the cream.
That's just pure laziness. Bake the fucking cake. Alright? 45 minutes. Maybe to an hour tops it's going to take out of your day. But buttering a slice of white bread and then just putting sprinkles on it, like, there's your fairy bread. Lads, have a word with yourselves.
Riddle me this now, Amy, because you watch this, like...
Did I hear right that you were talking about fairy bread?
Yeah.
I have such... I take such fucking issues with Australians and that.
You do know that
I know.
sugar sandwiches were an Irish thing.
I also have serious issue with that.
Yeah.
That was because it was cheap
That was it. Like Dublin cuisine is not a.
That was a
I
survival
have-
thing.
Yeah, that's a survival
Like
thing.
that's different. That's
Yeah.
like literally we have nothing else.
Part of where it came from. This Irish.
They add fucking sprinkles to it.
I know. I live with an Australian. My stepsister. Erin.
Oh, fucking have a word with her. Be like,
She's indoctrinated to it. Her nickname is also Fairy. Not that way.
I was gonna say,
qualify.
wow, that's really not liberal.
Wow.
I don't know if you can hear that, but God is angry.
It's raining.
It's gonna rain.
I love a bit of rain.
Shouldn't have cost you play. That'll be 2 cents for kids.
For the people. Oh.
I've already had one.
And aren't they amazing? Oh my God, they're so good. Kira's got her affirmation.
Yes. Because I live on it.
I like how like you're just like, oh, they appreciate it, whereas I'm like, praise.
You're both very lovely.
It's the most wholesome kink eater facade. I think I might actually end up coming from this. So good.
Score.
Oh!
Oh! It's like the crispy exterior with the
The best bits
ice
of the
and
brownie.
sugar.
Like it is essentially a cookie but a brownie.
I don't want Aaron to know about these.
No, they're yours. That's why they have the cupcakes.
Oh,
Oh, here we go again. Second movie in a row. Here you go.
I will need this for later.
Yeah.
Also, I don't appreciate the way you threw it at me like that. That was the most here. Wipe yourself off. Like I've ever seen.
I did kind of do it in that intentionally.
Here, clean yourself off. You fucking whore.
Crying in my house.
Get that white shit off your face.
There's no cocaine. I'm not interested.
But it's also satisfying now for Paul because he's trying to figure out if this man was really a murderer
Yeah.
and he killed us. Why would he be able to heal this thing?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, why would he be able to take away pain and disease and all this kind of shit? And the only other person he really voices anything to is his wife.
Yeah.
Get me out of here.
I was like, fuck. I'm never leaving the house again.
Also in the book, the mouse is left with a limp, so he's not able to scurry. He limps his way back to the well. David Morris generally looks like he wants to cry.
Yeah.
He looks like he's so genuinely.
He has just he's had a religious experience.
I love
Such
the
a good
acting so
actor.
much.
The cry face, as I believe it's referred to.
Oh, I've seen many actors try to pull off a crying.
It's
and
a
they
hard
just- they don't.
it's a hard thing to pull off.
Oh no, I know someone who does it with ease, and it's like, dude, you need to see a therapist, like to talk
Be able
about
to
some of this
just
shit.
top of a hat, like yeah.
There's a thing as well. So, if you cry from the left side, it's a genuine tear.
Yeah.
But when you're crying from the right, if your first teardrop is like from the left, it's a genuine. You're really crying. It's actually a reaction.
Really? Okay.
But if you're crying from the right, if your first teardrop, you're putting this on.
Ah.
It's kind of like you're faking this in a sense, and it's actually a legit like it's a psychological
Logical thing, yeah.
But like it's very funny because like when you watch TV shows with actors, it always seems to be they always start crying in the one actor never cries. He always cries from the left first, and you're like, and I've noticed, and I was like,
That's really interesting. I didn't know about that with the crying thing. Yeah.
Aren't you glad Mr. Jingles is okay? After all those talk we had about.
but it's a way it was actually a psychologist kind of came up with was doing it because they were actually it was something to do with prisoner studies. So when you're crying crocodile tears, they used to be like, I don't think he's not been genuine.
Yeah.
Because I think there is there's another name. It's like the heart link or something like that, and that's like where like sort of thing.
I suppose that's where you can also kind of like I'll go for the brain chemistry thing as well. Like you've like certain neurotransmitters will make you actually like the actual sad transmitters and the acting transmitters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so it's like actual emotional.
Yes.
That's whatever way your brain suits it will come from one side. So
which makes sense because I think the emotional center. Yeah.
It's the right side.
It's the right side. So yeah.
It's either or. So I might have the sides wrong, but it is actually a thing. It's like depending on which you cry from first.
Yeah.
That's how you know someone is genuinely crying because I tested it on myself. I actually ended up doing it myself one time. I noticed I was like, I can't remember what it was, and I ended up crying. I was like, oh god, so I was just from one side.
Yeah.
But then when I was getting frustrated, I was frustrated at work, and I realised, I started crying from the other side.
Yeah.
I was like, it's because I'm not upset.
It's
frustrated.
it's
a different emotion.
It's a different emotion.
Yeah.
I was like, holy shit! And I kept track of it for a while to see which one.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's really, really interesting. Okay.
The wrong way around.
Oh. The comfy corner was not fully calibrated.
There was another thing as well. There was like a Q&A that I was watching on like YouTube, and someone had mentioned it's like, how do you cry so convincingly? Because you make yourself cry from the particular side of your eye. And his response was, that's not me imagining anything. That's me genuinely upset, thinking something's have to happen.
Yeah.
And he goes, that's just not acting. And I was like, one of them, when they were like, one of the days it was an early season, and it was like, yeah, I thought I did really, really well. And they were like, okay, this is your character. It's not you. It's happening to. And he's like, oh, I went too hard.
But yeah, but that points more to someone who actually does have a psychology.
But I do love the idea. I do love the idea of this particular actor being like, I fucking killed it. Rein it the fuck back! Oh my god! Like
everyone else is emotional.
there was like there's like another scene where they were like he was talking about like the characters going through a very, very particular experience, and they were like afterwards he had to walk away. Yeah. Because he was like, I can't make it stop. I've gone too far into it and now it won't stop. She said, like, we're just gonna call it break. Yeah. And then we'll come back to it. They had to call off the rest of the day of shooting because he was too upset.
Who was the actor you're referring to there?
Who do you think I'm referring to?
I just need you to say it. I just want you to say the name.
Both of them.
Oh really? Okay.
Both of them, yeah. So the one where it's the Sam was the overreaction.
Yeah.
And they're like, you need to rein it back in. Because that's way too much emotion. Yeah. Because Sam is not that heavily involved in this. Yeah. We know you are, but Sam's not. And then it's when Dean was telling them about hell, and he had to go into that entire experience and like describing of how he was being tortured and stuff. They had to call off the rest of the days of shooting because he couldn't calm himself down.
That's mad. That's mad.
And then after, because they're early enough seasons, so after I think it's one when Sam dies. Yeah. As well, they were like, how did you come across so genuine? Like, because you actually cried from a particular side of your eyes, and they're like, that wasn't acting. He goes, that wasn't, I was like, shit, what if Jared just got stabbed in front of me? That is my genuine reaction. Yeah. To that happening. We don't have to act about it.
But that is a sign of a good actor though.
That's terrifying because they'd only known each other less than a year at that point.
But like I said, if you have the skill set though, that's what it is. I'm trying to think, like this.
They were fucking robbed of Emmy nominations. They really fucking were. Like I know it's not a show that's gonna get like, and they all said it numerous times, like, we're not a show, but Jesus Christ! But if the network should have put them forward for it.
It's genre bias as well sometimes. Like it's if
same
you're
with
in
stuff like Charmed,
yeah. Buffy, don't think did it. Well, Buffy might got one or two for the for certain episodes, but
no, that's the thing is it depends on your network.
Yeah.
And
Pushing
it's purely they just don't want to pay for it. They don't want to have to pay to do the run. They don't want to pay for the promoting to try and get the Emmy nomination on it.
Yeah, fair.
The Boys did it, but they did it through fans.
Yeah.
The Boys put their names forward, and only 2 shows actually got nominated in those categories.
But it's also like
The White Lotus and Succession.
Yeah, but it's also that
for actor or supporting actor is literally only people from those shows, and you're like, you do realise there were other shows.
Yeah, but that's always been the case. Always been the way though. Like critics will always have to feel like they.
This isn't the critics picking
This is
them.
the Academy.
Oh, the Academy. Sorry, yeah,
Right?
that's what I meant to say.
But
Right.
it depends on how much money those studio. This is how much we're paying you.
Yeah.
So
see, I get that with games a lot sometimes as well. Like I mean, like at One Hill.
It should be the members.
Yeah.
Being able to vote for it. It shouldn't be.
But if something is objectively good, right, and this is the thing we see, like whereas like I'm very disillusioned with big games nowadays, where I haven't bought an actual big video game in about a year and a half. That's genuine, like because for one, Stray is, but I wouldn't call that a big game.
That's not a big game.
That's an indie game. That's
Is
Annapurna. That's made by an
because it went viral.
Yeah, but that's
indie will go viral on this. But
oh yeah, you do need to play that. You'll love it.
it's,
But like
unless like this is the thing as well. It's like unless it's coming from like Rockstar.
yes, now that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the
That's what I mean,
AAA,
like,
EA, your Ubisofts, your
Like those, if they're releasing a game, that is a big game.
And I'm not including like the yearly franchise because
I was just thinking of big in terms of fan reactions.
That would be a different kind of big.
That's where like
fair enough.
But that's all
fan reaction is. I think if you're this is the way I view it. If the fan reaction to it exceeds everything else, then it's something that you should be looking into.
Yeah.
If the promotional, however, for it is bigger than the fan reaction, then you stay away from it.
So this
is not actual game footage.
Yeah, that's exactly
it's never
it.
actual game footage.
Like
the
there
more
was
promotional you see for something, you're like, this is actually
High on Life was that for me, right? High on Life is a first-person shooter. It's supposed to be a piss-takey kind of like Rick and Morty style humor because it was made like it was written by Justin Roiland himself. Now hilariously though, here's the thing: that game was released on the same week as the allegations coming out.
Oh no!
For who? I got distracted by the movie.
Justin Roiland.
Rick
and Morty, yeah. Like that game released on the same week as the allegations coming out.
Oh.
And here's the thing: that game.
Your wife knew what she was doing.
That game was so aggressively marketed in certain ways on YouTube and on your proverbial kind of lad Bible sites. Where they would those kind of sites where they let them play for like the half an hour and you can upload this clip here and you have to put these captions on it, all this other stuff, and let them see all the anarchic crazy humor. And I had saw nothing but that for about fucking 2 months. I was like, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Here's the thing with the algorithms, people. If I don't engage with it, I don't want to know. Fucking move along. And it's just like that game has kept going on, and honestly, I don't have to play the game anymore because I'm nearly sure I've seen the entire playthrough in just clips alone.
Yeah.
I don't need to see any of it else.
I will actually say this, and I know it's going back to movies, but I'm very excited about Five Nights at Freddy movie.
But see that franchise is I will give that franchise credit.
Now this isn't the final runtime yet.
Yeah.
But so far it's hitting at 3 hours.
Oh, that's too long.
Are you fucking shitting me?
Well, you see for
Sorry,
that.
hold on. Think of the audience that this is sitting to. They sit through 7 hours of streaming.
Fair point.
Of
Fair
this,
point.
Of this
fair
game.
point.
They will sit. I'm one of these people that will sit through. I watched Markiplier play for 12 hours straight.
That's fair. Okay.
And I only went to pee once.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking of it in that sense. I was thinking more so. Yeah.
Think of the audience.
Yeah. Fair point. Fair point. I was thinking more some like for a movie that is going to become that type of horror movie. I would have thought like it'd be a really like straight to the point. But then again, this is why I'm actually
There's like 5 games.
Oh, there's more. I think there's 5.
No, there's 5 actual Five Nights at Freddy. I'm not counting the expansion.
There's a lot of spin-offs. Exactly. Yeah.
So like realistically, I guarantee you. They could release an 8-hour cut that include the entire lore of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
And people.
But see that's one of those kind of those are the games that I actually do respect.
They should literally put intermission into them. Well, I'm very excited for.
Yeah, and I think it'll do great as a movie because it kind of has enough depth
you
there.
You fucking wanker. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is probably. Oh my god. Okay, this is gonna sound really weird. This is fucking tame
Yeah.
compared to what the book is.
Mm-hmm.
Because in the book, it describes everything. The eyeballs exploding in the book. When the doctor goes to check the heartbeat, the skin melting off the book. He describes
That's
what the
pretty more true to
smell.
life.
He describes the smell that I actually had to put the book down because I can smell it.
Yeah.
No one else can do that.
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck can you can you be writing something in a book that would actually make someone go, I can smell it. I can actually smell it. I can smell the burning flesh.
There's a reason he is such a highly rated writer.
Roll on too.
And the other thing as well on this one, so because Paul's not the lead on this, even if he had noticed that sooner, he can't stop that.
Yeah.
The call has to come from Percy.
Yeah.
I was having a look at some of the trivia for it because it was annoying me where I didn't know where some of these actors were from.
Yeah.
And that they were saying that this execution was probably based on 2 real life events.
Yeah.
One of which where 6-inch flames were coming out of the head. So yeah. Tame.
Imagine what that would really look like on the mask.
And how it smelled.
But not even that, but even the actual mask now is now the skin because of the fucking.
Like, literally
it would have just stuck in, yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, we are going to see Dell's body afterwards, and you're kind of like, oh, that's actually quite well preserved. Like,
Wait, if it's burning from the inside, I don't know. Like it's.
To be fair,
yeah.
See, this thing is.
Also, you don't.
No, you do not.
It's well. To be fair, they've killed the juice.
Yeah.
The juice is gone. It's no longer on it.
Yeah, from that side, from that shot there now, like it's.
There should be more black fabric stuck to that thing.
But then you can argue the color is kind of, I don't know.
Although to be fair, I mean, if they want you want to see what no one actually wants to see a realistic. They don't. They want to see the burn. They want to see what bad they look. They don't want to see fabric stuff to it.
That's true. Yeah. My God, does he ever deserve that fucking punch in the face?
God,
it's like, oh, fucking kill him. Just fucking murder the cunt.
That was a hard see. I think it's purely just to get back on because he knew what was going to happen.
I think so too.
It's explained in great detail
Yeah.
too.
Because he was asking he was so curious.
Oh no, but it's in the book. It's explained in great detail.
It's part of his.
It's the stuff that you do miss out in the film.
Yeah.
So he knew exactly what was going to happen. He didn't know it would happen to that extent, but he knew the importance of it. But because Dell made fun of him. Because someone who he thought was lower than him made fun of him.
Exactly.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking make you suffer.
We were having this conversation about misery, weren't we? About how, as I said, the people who need that kind of control and power become nurses, and this is the same thing with prison. Yeah, yeah. But
that is also something that was very well publicized when like the majority of people who end up becoming nurses were previously bullies because they like having the control.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same thing with the prison guard thing. They just the actual intoxication of having that power over somebody, of being able to go like, do you know what, I could shoot you tomorrow, and no one will fucking bat an eyelid.
I wouldn't say prison guards specifically.
No, but it's cops generally. Yeah, you could it's an umbrella kind of term.
But again,
I suppose,
that's the same thing. It's the male equivalent of going into nursing.
And again, it's the same with American police. It's just that they're so fecklessly trained that like no psych tests, none of this show, whatever the stuff that they do is just nowhere near good enough to be.
Depending on which state you're in, it ranges from 2 to 6 weeks training.
Yeah, which is fucking insanity. It's absolutely insanity.
And it is actually. I know a lot of people shit on the guards here as well, but at least they actually have a year's training. In a college.
I will never criticize the guard for that aspect alone.
And then there's still probation for a full-on year.
Yeah.
So within that year, if you fail any aspect of your probation, you are no longer.
Yeah.
They will. You failed. I'm sorry.
Yeah, precisely.
You don't get. There's no extension on it.
Yeah. But that's the same. Like, it's
again,
like,
the simplest thing is if you fail your medical or not your medical, your physical test, your physio. Like if you failed that, I'm sorry, you failed.
Yeah.
And what's really kick here is when Damien was going for it, Damien failed. So he failed a medical on one of them, and they literally told him, it's because he wore glasses at the time.
Ah,
And
okay.
they'd said to Damien, it's like, it would be different if you were in the job and then you required glasses.
Yeah,
You
but
can't
you're
say
starting
in
off
that.
with
You're starting
poor
off
eyesight,
with
yeah.
with this one, you'll actually have to get corrective surgery
Yeah.
done for us to be able to pass you on this. And Damien went, alright, cool, no worries. It was on. He was like, look, it's something that I'm planning to have done anyway, so yeah, that's grand. And this is the funniest thing ever. So what happened was, we had a particular television, and we had it a long time, but it was a flat screen. And it started to, the pixels were starting to go, and they had a red line on the TV.
Yeah.
And it wasn't there all the time, but on occasion it would just pop up and it would disappear.
Yeah.
And we all knew it was there, and it was kind of frustrating for us. Damien had not been living with us at all, so Damien came in to visit the house, and we were watching a football match, and eventually Dad went, that fucking line is pissing me the hell off now. And Damien just went, oh thank God. And we were like, what? And he's like, I was really worried something went wrong with my surgery, and I thought I was just seeing
You've
this
seen a
red line
random red line.
on the TV, and my mom just goes, and you didn't fucking voice you didn't say anything. He goes, I was really worried there.
And he didn't want to give anything away, yeah.
But he didn't want to say anything just in case there was something really wrong with his
Yeah.
eyes. And we were like, oh my God. Every single time now something happens to our TV, we're like, Damien, did you see the red line?
Well, I was saying there beforehand, because he's in seeing it here again. It's like, I don't know what it is about seeing James Cromwell. I think it's because I loved Babe as a child, the movie. I just find something really reassuring about seeing him on screen. It's like, oh, it's James Cromwell. It's like, oh, everything's okay now. I don't know why.
Me and Sarah were watching Babe, and she hadn't seen it in donkey's years.
Yeah.
The two of us are sitting on the kitchen. Do you know the very start of the movie where they take all the moms to be slaughtered? And she's just like, oh God, it's a terrible world. And she's saying it with such sincerity, emotion, and I was like, the film hadn't been on 10 minutes, and I was like, pause.
Just
laughed.
get over her system.
I was like, I laughed so much, and she was just like, it is. And then I just went, I love Mama. And she's like, Amy, no. It's really sad.
It's awful sad. It's
like,
awful
okay. And it was out of our minds at that point. And then it was just like, the way things are. And I'm just like, it's a terrible world.
It's awful.
I love it's all fried chicken.
Yeah.
I was like, I love that.
But it is a South.
I know, that's what, it's like,
It's very consistent.
It's so, like, just on the ball.
Yeah. The biscuits and gravy are just out of shop.
The biscuits, you actually saw them earlier on.
No.
Have you ever actually seen what biscuits and gravy looks like?
Yeah, like, well, I know.
It looks like someone got sick onto a plate.
Yeah, it's rotten.
It looks rank.
So kind of like poutine, but it's meant to be gorgeous. Kind of thing.
Like, I'm nearly sure how they actually make it is literally water and corn flour.
Yeah, it's corn flour with the gravy, yeah.
Yeah, like it just, and it's like a white gravy. And it just looks...
Oh.
It looks like someone threw up on a plate.
Oh.
Like, at least with poutine... I know. At least, like, with poutine, is that not gravy? Is that not,
it's
like...
actual,
it's
actual
we
gravy,
would know is
yeah.
gravy.
Yeah, that's what I mean, is like poutine. And, like, but, like, you can... And it's just, like... Ugh. But, like,
Because it was only that I copped it when you said white gravy and I went,
the dish consists of sourdough biscuits covered in white gravy made from the drippings of cooked pork sausage, flour, milk, and often bits of sausage, bacon, ground beef, and other meat. So it's like basically, it's an awful gravy. Literally, it's offcuts of everything else just put into a sauce. It's like,
and they give out to us for pudding.
Yeah.
Who fucking
black
touched
pudding?
you badly? Like, that's not normal. Meat
Is it-
foods.
There has to be like a worst food World Cup we can do,
To
where
be
like
fair,
we can
I'll be
we
honest.
can
Like,
pit.
here's the thing is as well. This is also another thing that kind of annoys me a little bit with Americans when they're like, every time if you go to an American bar, or sorry, an Irish bar in America,
Yeah.
do you know what one of their top Irish meals is?
Oh, I can only imagine.
Corned beef and cabbage.
When was the last time any Irish person actually had that?
That is not an Irish meal.
No, it's not.
Corned beef and cabbage is an American.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Like,
Like,
it's
I was like, when
American-
was the last time an Irish person had it? Is what I said.
Oh,
We
Amy.
had it like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, for God's sake.
And do you know why? Do you know why? It's
Because he's had it in America.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like I'd actually, me and Mum Mum was talking. She goes, for some reason, me and Dad had said, I'd love fucking. I don't know why.
When you have a goof or something, yeah.
It's like, I don't know why, but I have an hankering for corned beef.
Yeah.
Now we need to have corned beef, but it'd be
when I
corned
said it
beep
to
and
Mum-
mash and.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
well,
like
others
this thing.
don't
Now, when I said it to
no.
Mum, I actually meant, will you get slices of it? I'm just going to have
Yeah.
a corned beef sandwich.
Yes.
That's what I meant. And she actually went off, bought corned beef.
Yeah.
She bought a bit of cabbage. We had potatoes already, and she got kale. And she goes, I'm just going to make caulcan. And she goes, Amy, I know I generally enjoy cabbage as the vegetable. I like green vegetables,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And I hadn't had cabbage in a while, and because she only ever does it on certain. Mum would only ever do cabbage at Easter.
Yeah.
And she was like, we didn't do our Easter dinner this year, so she goes, oh no, I got you that. But it wasn't because, oh, I'm dying for some corned beef and cabbage. It was just literally, it was like, I couldn't, she goes, I didn't see Brussels sprouts, so I got you cabbage instead.
Fair enough.
Sort of thing. So it's like, so that was literally the only time I can actually, that's the one time I can actually pinpoint where we actively sat down to have corned beef and cabbage.
If we were to do a worst food World Cup, what's
Dublin
Ireland's?
coddle.
Is it coddle or the sugar sandwich? What are we throwing in?
Oh, coddle hands
yeah.
down, but that's only a Dublin thing.
It is a very Dublin thing, yeah.
Right? But if someone had said, what's the worst dish that we can think of, I think the rest of I think every county would agree, you fuckers and your coddle.
Yeah. I would agree with you on coddle. I would agree
Because
with you on
again,
coddle,
the
Yeah,
sugar
we never
sandwich,
even had
the sugar
coddle.
sandwich thing is
yeah.
that is now that's Australia's now. They
Yeah.
took that and they fucking ran with it.
Yeah,
And they decided to add more
Yeah.
sugar. So I'll put that one down. But I think if we were, because I mean, realistically speaking, like if you were to think of an actual Irish dish, the only thing that really jumps into my mind would be fish and chips or shepherd's pie.
As a worst meal?
No, like as an
As in
actual,
a-
As an
a
actual
genuine-
quintessential one.
like if you were to go to, if I was setting up an Irish restaurant, you're thinking
Spice
a
bag.
roast. No, because like they do that for Chinese.
But it's an Irish creation.
It's an Irish creation, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's, I wouldn't call that an Irish dish when you're literally taking every spice.
Fair point. Yeah,
Box
fair
tea.
point.
Which?
Box tea.
What's box tea?
It's a potato and bread dish. Like for dinner. It's Irish.
Never heard of that.
I'm not explaining it right 'cause
Salty
I've only
scum.
had it out.
Salty scum is another one.
You
It's
the
Scandinavian.
You have to go by actual things like what's
Yeah.
in it. Not
It is actually no, it's not. I'm thinking of there is a Scandinavian dish.
So it's a potato pancake.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But you can have it as a meal.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually heard it been called its actual name. Then.
Yeah.
But if you'd said potato pancake, I would have known exactly
Yeah.
what you mean.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's called something else up north.
I think one of the worst ones in the world is I think it's Norway or Sweden. I think it is, or Finland. Can't remember. It's one of those countries, and they basically have like it's a canned fish, but it's rotten fish.
Sweden.
It's Sweden, isn't it?
Fermented shark.
Fermented shark. That's it.
Yeah.
And it is just purely in salt.
Yeah.
And it's just fermented and fermented
Right.
and fermented.
I
And it's
there's salty fucking licorice.
the salty licorice. That's the salty scum.
I can't.
Yeah.
Oh,
Salty licorice is one thing. Yeah, I cannot get enough salt water taffy.
That's different though.
I know. I just think it's hilarious. So if you were to go
That's
for
why I
Irish,
asked you if you found saltwater taffy the last time you were in America to bring me home some.
it would actually honestly, if we were in Florida time, I would have been able to get you some when we were in Universal Studios, because it's that's the border I need to go down.
Yeah.
New York, I looked everywhere for it, right? I know, because at that point, because even I was like, I want salt water.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, she was like, you will not find that in New York at all. And I'm like, I know, but if we go out to, and she's like, we're not gonna find it. I'm like, oh. Irish stew.
Yeah.
Right. Would be an actual dish that you can say.
I imagine the English would have quite a few. Turkey has a bad one as well. Sheep eyes. They have that as a delicacy.
What's the cheese that's outlawed in every country bar a
The one with
specific
the
area
maggots.
in Sicily?
Yeah, the one with
Yes.
maggots.
What's wrong with you people?
Boiled bacon with
Kasumatsu.
cabbage and carrots.
Kasumatsu. That's the one.
I don't
It's
know.
Sardinia, yeah.
Sardinia, sorry.
Yeah.
Sardinia.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
See, this the thing is, the majority of like when you even if you're googling Irish dishes, you're coming up with an awful lot of stuff that's like what is a uniquely Irish food? Black and white pudding.
Yeah.
So I mean, realistically,
That's because it's a blood product.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, Okay. Yeah, Irish stew again. Irish soda bread called cannon.
Imagine the
Shepherd's
Brits would
pie.
have quite a few picks, but there wouldn't be.
Rambrack.
Oh, brown brack, yeah. Okay.
Boiled bacon and cabbage. Cured or smoked salmon. Yeah, so there's not really an awful lot. Realistically, if we were to put something forward where we don't want to get judged too much on it, it would probably be either the stew or the shepherd's pie.
Just a shoe.
That's a
lads, it's the best we can do.
Because like, but that's the funny thing is, it's like I actually think Irish stew would be our best bet to win.
Yeah, I think so.
Especially if you get like a really good version of it, and have soda bread on the side to dip in. Like I think that would be good for us. Yeah, but I think it's really funny because someone actually pointed out, and it's like someone had pointed it out before, and it was like if you're countries that had been affected primarily by famines, do not have traditional dishes.
But that's also why the Dublin dishes are
Because-
so bad, because that is literally all
we
you
had.
have.
Yeah, so it's like, but it does seem to
Yeah.
me it's like if you like somewhere where had been affected by famine
Yeah.
will not be able. You will not find a national dish.
But that's why there's
for that country.
that's why there's wet markets in Asia. That's why there's the roadkill and stuff like this.
But I
This
think
is, whatever you can get your hands
The
on.
funniest thing about it is though as well is because like the thing is with Irish food places and stuff like
Yeah.
that, because of how diverse the country has become, we probably have some of the best versions of everywhere else.
Yes.
Yeah, we got a good selection of everything else. You know, because we
Like we do really good. Like you'll go places and you go, this is probably some of the best Chinese.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
not actual Chinese, but like this is really good Chinese food.
yeah.
Or
But, like,
else, but you'll also find, Jesus, they have there's some really nice Italian restaurants. There's really
Moroccan.
nice
Yeah, we got
Moroccan
Moroccan,
restaurants,
Lebanese,
Yeah.
fucking
It's like we
Brazilian
have-
now.
yeah.
Like there's a lot of Brazilian places now you can get nice churros, and now there's a lot of African
There's some
fusions now coming in
honest
as well.
to God, there was
Just look how many places are popping up now with bubble tea.
exactly.
We'll be
Yeah.
back in 2 minutes. We have guests on the way.
Yay!
She was in an episode. She had a lot of like small stuff. Parks and Recreation. She did 2 episodes in. She was in Green Eggs. Green
Yeah,
Eggs and
uh-huh.
Ham as Pam. I am.
Right here.
Green Eggs and Ham.
Hello.
Yeah.
What's up, fucking up?
So, that's it. We have Julie Morris in the ring, and Chloe Morris as well. She's saving my
Don't
phone.
disrespect.
I don't
her
do
like
that.
She just said she saved in my phone.
I couldn't resist the pun. So, how's everyone doing? All good?
Yeah.
You join us at the right. We're at the right time.
We've literally, I think maybe we've got like
10 minutes?
10 minutes.
No.
We're
Half an hour.
yeah, about that.
Oh,
Around
that's
half an hour
What
left.
did you do so before this?
We're watching this.
This is,
Oh, right.
this is a 3-hour movie.
I forgot how long it was and everyone also watched it a long time.
Do you know what the
That's why I
funny?
thought there was only 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I was like, at this point, I'm like, yeah, there's only around half an hour left to go.
Yeah. So,
It's been, yeah, we've had discussions on the death penalty and everything.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've had quite a lot of diverse conversation, as we said.
Sorry, no, I'm just messing with I just can't. Oh god, I haven't seen this in years.
We are not watching this again.
Thing is, it's been so long since I watched it, I forgot the fact that he was like sucking the soul out of people. I was like, what?
It's not sucking the soul
Soul
out
out
of
of
people, the
people.
illness out of people.
Oh! I look like a soul. I
very-
don't know.
No, it's well, technically that's cancer. He's sucking cancer out of her.
Ah,
She
so
has
it's a superhero movie in a lot of ways.
He's actually technically the way it's done in the book. He's actually meant to be a second coming of Jesus Christ. He's
Oh.
healing the sick.
Right.
He's he goes from place to place as like a nomad, and he's basically healing them.
Ah, okay.
Plus, he's going to have to die for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense now. As I said, it's been a while since I watched the Green Knight.
I just know there's a mouse.
Mr. Jingles.
Jingles.
Yeah, Mr. Jingles. He's been and gone.
Off to Mailsville?
He's going to Mouseville in Tallahassee. Tallahassee, I think. Yes, Tallahassee.
It's Tallahassee.
Right next to the Dog University. Oh, yeah.
So how are you?
Good. I was hoping to come earlier, but decided to wake up with a migraine at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Just what you need on a
Lovely.
Saturday. Yeah.
So I woke up and went, my head's at me, and then I
Out of
moved.
curiosity, was it a migraine or a hangover?
No, it was a migraine. I was nowhere near drunk enough to get a hangover. I had to go into the shower at 7
I
o'clock
got
in
a
the morning.
text message at 11:30 last night from a good friend Jimmy Morris.
Very
Very
nice.
10 if you want to come in. I'm just like,
Because I only just...
I'm just like, I'm already after drinking enough, and I have PT in the morning, so
Yeah.
fuck no, am I going back out?
Not a fucking chance high.
Well, I didn't even really
Keith
notice the
would
time. And I
Keith
just saw that
would
you put something just up on Instagram, so I was like, oh, I thought you might have been around, but like...
I was only out in Malahide. We weren't even in town. It's not fucking just I can't be doing in the town. We went to we were out in Malahide. Went to a restaurant Old Street in Malahide. It was like it's like a steak kind of house. Basically, it's fucking delicious. Oh, it was delicious.
We want to try that place inside Town Fire.
Oh yeah.
I'm just assuming they have nice steaks inside it because it's just called Fire.
Yeah. Turns out it was a pizza place. all they did was fucking wood burn pizzas.
Turns out it wasn't a steakhouse. I was actually living with an arsonist.
You just light your
It was
dishes.
actually a gay bar, but they did great cocktails.
Different type, yeah.
Do you have stuff that you need in that bag?
Well, it's just my drink inside it.
Do you want to take it out and we can put it in the fridge for you?
We have a
Yeah,
nice,
no,
we have a nice box.
And then you can move the bag and eat it out of the way then.
What did you have with your cider or what?
No, Murphy.
Oh, Jesus. Kelsey, please.
That's why I'm glad KC's not here, so that I don't get abuse off him for drinking it.
Yeah, well, Jerry will bottle that for you later on, I'm sure.
Does he know I'm still coming yet?
Oh, he doesn't know a thing.
Oh, that's decent. He's gonna walk in
Sorry,
complete.
hold on. Who?
Jerry Soul.
You're not meant to tell him, no?
I told him not to.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
What better way to ruin his day than him walking in not expecting me to be sitting here?
I mean, it's the best way to get him off the channel, I suppose. Just to, to ruin his fucking day out. Right?
Where do I put these? In that, is it?
Yeah, if you want to stick it in there, go for it. You can keep them cold. You have assorted goodies for the occasion.
Yeah. And we're gonna stick on food.
Yeah.
Shortly.
Yes.
Yeah, we said we'd wait for you to get here for
Yeah.
the food.
Makes the most sense.
Yeah.
There's cupcakes there.
Yeah?
They're gluten-free cookies, but they are Amy's.
Sorry?
You don't have to eat one just because you've had one.
Sorry, can I just
This is the
wanna-
power of
This
suggestion.
thing is, right, for anyone who's kind of like, this is Chloe and Aaron's first time technically
On the
live-
channel, yeah.
the-
Well, on the
on the live.
in the live.
Right.
Anything
In
that
the
doesn't
room.
involve like.
In the room where it happened, right?
Yeah.
So yous are all getting to see in real time Chloe's. I've been around Chloe a handful of times. It never gets old.
No.
It never
It's
gets
just it's
My
very,
favourite
very
one.
wholesome.
My favourite one was at Kieran's house when he came out with the strawberry dappers.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh my god! It's like we just gave her a puppy at Christmas.
Yeah.
It was like, this is the greatest gift ever.
It's just me taking an E on the stream just to make things a little bit lively later on. So everyone's going to be normal and I'm just going to be sitting there going, lads, the lights, they speak to me.
It'd be like, remember the streets.
What?
Lights are blinding
Oh,
my
yeah.
eyes. They're walking up into the night. Oh, I can't believe it. My hands are in front of my face. I was walking and then I just kept walking. And then the fucking music video for that was horrific.
What
Like
was that? Streets, what was the song again?
It was the lights are blinding or something
Oh.
like that. But it's like literally the music videos. They're at a wedding and his girlfriend's like giving head in the fucking stall next to him while he's like having a really bad trip. Yeah.
Lovely.
It was like, what the fuck? Like, Mike Skinner, what the hell were you actually
He was
on?
going through some stuff at the time, but just
Oh
didn't
my
let it out
god, he's
somewhere.
more than stuff.
I was going,
Hello there.
"That's great."
Hello.
You were, I'm pretty sure he's still going through it.
I think we've only like actually seen each other in person twice.
Yeah. So
No,
yes,
it's been a few times, isn't it? I feel like it's been more.
probably twice. Probably more than one, more than two times.
Yeah.
Maybe
I like when we all stopped for the
Like,
slap.
just-
We all stop for Percy
Yeah.
getting slapped and
Fuck
like,
that
fuck
guy.
you, Percy.
He deserves it.
Oh,
he
yeah,
does.
absolutely.
He deserves it. Fuck that guy.
The highest order.
I love as well, like, we made a joke before, like, in our group chat and stuff like that, no matter what time people come up, the Green Mile will still be on. That was true. I thought it would have been over by around 7 o'clock, but then again, I got here late as well.
Yeah, it's only 10 to 7.
Exactly, and we still have,
A lot.
like,
Fair
20,
bit.
20 minutes left to go.
Yeah, fair bit.
So,
If he's in the room, then yeah.
oh no, he's about to meet his end now, so there's only around 20 minutes, not even left.
Yeah. Pan came across it. Couldn't resist.
Shut the fuck up.
Nah.
Couldn't resist.
What is it?
It has a shark bath bomb in it.
Oh, nice.
Lads, go fucking fill the sink.
Are you gonna need tea?
Shark. That was not to be on the point.
The timing of that is fucking
I
great.
thought it came out of the box for a
Yeah.
second.
I was not expecting a shark attack to happen quite like
Shark
that.
attack. Here on Shark Week of all
Sorry.
weeks.
Who the fuck drew this?
I found it during the clear.
Fuck you. First off.
No, well, it wasn't intended to be that on the target.
Sorry, did someone know I just got smacked in the face? Because now I'm getting messages.
Have you been injured in an accident? That wasn't your fault. Because you could
Oh,
be
it's
inside.
Laura.
Could you imagine if it was actually Dave? It was like, bing.
Rounds.
I'm getting very midsummer vibes off that, I'm not gonna lie.
Leave her in her happy little place.
No, I'm not saying it to her.
Oh no, don't stop, no.
No.
Oh
stop.
no, please, no, don't. He's got so much to live for.
There's 4 of them.
He's got mice to shrink or something.
Have you filled the sink yet?
Wait for the water to heat up.
That was like a manic laugh as well that you just had there with the eyes and all like ah.
Oh, that is.
So, how many pumpkin seeds can one man take?
It's very
That's really quite a lot.
Yeah.
That has a strong citrusy smell. Big fish, swallow your hole. Shaking and tenderizing and down he goes.
And you're gonna be quoting Jaws for the rest of the day.
That is the rule.
Oh, I'm done now.
Okay, I'm finished.
I call bullshit.
Okay, I'm finished.
Can I finish?
Okay, I'm finished. That's a racist, man. You're a racist.
Okay, I'm finished.
With your beady little eyes.
Hey,
That's racist.
that's
That's
racist.
racist.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
That's a racist. Can I finish? Okay, I'm finished. Why haven't we not watched South Park yet? Like,
Have you never watched South Park?
No, not on the channel.
Oh,
So again, you decided.
We're literally quoting it, and you're asking, have we ever watched it? This is why we don't invite you to shit, Aaron.
I'm here
Yes.
20 minutes before I got bullied.
It's been a long 20 minutes.
It's been a long 20 minutes. Yeah.
I count 12. And we have a timer.
We have a
Oh,
timestamp. Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Hang on, it only took 20 minutes before they settled into the hostilities.
There was a grace period given because he's after taking Panadol.
Yeah.
Can I sit him up?
He's got a sore head.
He's a bit tense.
I woke up with a very bad migraine this morning, alright? Very bad boo-boo. They got a bagel yesterday and some taste random.
Do you want a glass?
No, I don't
Properly.
mind bagels, but like, they're literally the only gluten-free stuff I could fucking
Oh,
find.
yeah.
So I was just like,
But what you should do is make a special, put the sauce in the hole.
I don't put sauce on my burgers.
Aaron,
Do you not know?
Aaron, Babs, can I just for future reference, never say the phrase sauce in the hole again, please?
No,
Just-
fair enough.
sorry.
Yeah, that's that.
It's
We're,
so
Yeah,
not,
yeah, I
we're,
think-
we're,
think-
we're not ones for kink shaming, but
Yeah.
that's
it was more so the emphasis on the whole. You know, it's just
Yeah.
the whole
I forget that with the Cork accent, they always tend to get drawn out.
drawn out. That was a
Yeah.
fucking odyssey of O's. That was an odyssey.
just
That was like Homer's Odysseys. That
to
was.
be fair, just say whole.
Oh,
Yeah, it is. Why are you adding more than one?
I
O?
don't know.
Say cool.
See,
Cool. Say whip.
Wait.
Hold on. We can't really talk about those, considering that in Dublin it's usually a book
a book, yeah.
or a cook.
Yeah, inner city
Double
Dublin.
accent. Yeah.
Like book. Like proper inner city Dublin. Like.
Hostel.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, burn them to the ground. It's a fucking book. you
Oh, I know.
twats.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they've never seen a book.
I'm sure they've seen a cooker. That's like I'm.
No,
I'm
they've seen a
Sweden.
book, but it's an email
oh,
talking
Nordic.
about
Oh,
O's.
the cooker.
A book.
Oh, there's the book and the cooker. Get the fuck out of here, you absolute drugged up twat.
The reason I know this is because my stepdad has this accent. He's a mediator.
What? Oh my god, once he leaves the room, they're ripping the piss. They have to be. So I wrote down.
Oh no. He switches on the equivalent of phone voice.
Oh, okay, well that's alright.
when it's relaxing, like
Yeah.
his.
Although actually, this doesn't
And
explain
he
my dad
dials it
says
up when
book.
he
Actually, now that I think
when
about it, my
Christopher
dad-
gets-
now that I think about it, actually, when my dad is
Yeah.
differentiating, I was reading a book or I booked it.
Yeah,
I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" You
but like
booked it.
sometimes it slips. Yeah, like it just happens. Like.
That's from Condra though, like.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
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 Oh, you fucking Westbury.
They
It's
don't
definitely not a
have
West
that
Brit thing. It's a
It's a
dub.
dub.
It's pure dub.
No, fuck that. I'm not
It
accepting
is.
that.
Um,
I'm not accepting that. I'm not accepting that.
I am denying it. It's an accent denier here in the room.
I rebuke.
I see what you did there.
I don't think anyone has ever referred to Fred and Ginger as angels.
When it's the first thing you've seen.
Yeah, I think he's just happy to be out. you could serve up
To
to.
be fair, it is like it's his,
Yeah.
it was his last wish. It was like, is there anything we can do for you? He goes, I just want to see me a flicker show. Never
Aw.
seen one. You're just like, oh,
That's lovely.
you're
Yeah.
so sweet. Oh, for God's sakes, lads, break him out. Who gives a shit?
Don't give him the choice, just
Yeah, just there, John, get in the van again. Come on,
Mm.
we go for a drive.
you're free.
Go, boy, you're free now.
Go watch all the movies you want.
No! That's a Simpsons reference, by the way.
Yeah.
I just want to make that very clear. That's a Simpsons reference. The B Sharps episode where Homer's trying to get rid of Clancy from the band.
Mm.
He drops him off in the woods and is just like, be free now. Go, boy, be free.
No.
No! Early Simpsons is
Oh,
used to get more
that-
airtime.
Seems like your tail lights out. No, it's not.
Now it
You
is.
know, like these working hard people that are going to come up for you, crooked cops. Oh no! Have they set a date? Looks like an explosion at the old Simpson house. We're busy. Looks like beer's coming from the chimney. Call it in, Lou! Pretzels. I repeat, we need pretzels. Oh god, you're. This is one of those moments where you're like, you're really hoping something is gonna happen at the end of this
Mm.
to save him.
Yeah.
It's like at this point, it's like, no.
Yeah. That
You're
that's the-
innocent. Like you're
Yeah.
actually innocent. We know you're innocent. Everyone knows you're
They
innocent.
elongate it.
It's the inevitability of it though.
It's like at
there
this
is-
point, you're just like, something is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Someone like you know when you watch a movie and they're always like the governor calls
Yeah.
and you get the stay of execution and all that kind of shit,
Mhm.
right? This is one of the ones where you're kind of hoping that Hal will just do it.
But even like it's even paced that way though, as Fox was saying, like the scene is stretched out to where like you're being set up for like a big fucking breakout, but then suddenly, oh no,
I
Nope,
don't.
that's it.
I don't read it that way at all.
okay,
Because he starts at this. The Green Mile is the longest mile,
Mm.
and it's dragged out because you know this is the longest walk that everyone has to do. It's not because there's going to be something good at the end of the tunnel. It's because you know only bad comes from this.
Fair point. Yeah.
So that's why. That's why.
Yeah.
it's
So I had to get that
stretched
across
out.
in the scene.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
why
get
it's
that. I
stretched out.
get
It's
that.
like this is the longest walk you'll ever have.
Of
This is
course,
the
like-
longest mile you'll
Yeah,
ever walk.
and you're not exactly like like rushing to get there either. You're gonna
No,
fucking.
yeah, you want.
you're
to,
gonna take that time.
You take your time walking that.
Jeez, that rain's coming down.
Yeah. Did you just come in at the right time, huh?
Yeah.
I'm fucking beaming out when I'm walking.
If you want the summary of Irish summer,
I had sunglasses when I got here. I
Yeah.
was wearing sunglasses and I was not wearing a jacket.
like welcome to August in Ireland, where it's possible to get sunburn and get drenched at the same
To be
time.
fair, it's autumn. August is
True,
autumn.
true. Yeah.
It technically is.
I know, but like where
August,
like,
September,
yeah,
October.
it is.
the
It is.
autumn
It
months,
is.
November,
Autumn,
December,
yeah.
January are winter months.
Yeah. But you know our climate. Our climate's just fucking weird. Like it'd be August could be like the best month ever.
Yeah.
Only if you're in only when you're in school though.
Schools go back.
Yeah, school's back. Yeah. Oh, when the schools go back, that week is gonna be fabulous weather. It's gonna be great.
You can almost plan it, to be honest.
To be fair, I'm pretty sure half of them do.
Lads, this is a very tense scene, for fuck's sake. Stop on about the rain. Give it a fucking rest.
I haven't seen it.
That's not the point. Get out, Foxy. Go stand outside.
This is what happens here in the back row.
And then the little peak.
Mm.
It reminds me of the soundtrack for Dragonheart.
Yeah.
Mm.
Actually, yeah, it is very reminiscent, isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
you don't expect it for anything else. So I think it's like it suits just that one
Yeah.
kind of thing.
But it's one of those times where like they actually got it spot on with the sound.
Yeah, because
They
he
found the perfect tone for it.
exactly.
Yeah.
This is not the time to be bombastic.
Yeah.
Like that time has passed. This-
Mr. Lover.
Very different execution. It wasn't me.
I don't know what one thing on them. There was one that was like danger.
Voltage. And you were giving it about us not taking the scene seriously.
No, but it's over now. I just don't want to cry. So I was like, I cannot cry again in another movie. Oh, I thought All Dogs Go to Heaven was bad. Fuck.
You cried during Misery just because you remembered Supernatural again.
That was different.
That was not different.
That was different.
You
We
were watching
talking-
the movie at the time.
No, but we were openly discussing.
Yeah.
Were we discussing the last episode? Wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah. And actually, we were discussing, I think, the use of music.
Music, yeah, exactly.
That's how. Yeah, that's what gets you emotionally.
Very underrated.
Yeah.
Oh.
A lot of movies sleep on the score when it sometimes is the most important part.
That's kind of the outcome for all the characters. So,
Mm.
because of what Paul did, he thinks it's his punishment. That
Yeah.
He has to outlive everybody.
Mm.
Because he was the one that gave the order.
Yeah.
Or it could be because when John healed him, part of his power goes into him, which is why the mouse is still alive.
Fair point, yeah. I was
So-
about to say that is a long. That's a long time
Like
for a mouse to
that,
be
like a
alive.
mouse is definitely dead. Like now, technically at the end of this, it kind of, the way it works, it looks like the mouse. It does look like Mr. Jingles dies
Yeah.
eventually, but he's like, I'm 120 something years old.
Yeah.
Like I have no idea when my number is up.
Mm.
Or if you go by the end of this, when Paul is back on the Green Mile when he finds Mr. Jingles, it could be a sense of like, is this you just finding him? Is this like a throwback to you finding him again and
Yeah.
taking care of him, or is this, have you died and now you're stuck here for the rest of eternity?
Interesting thought, I suppose. Yeah.
Purgatory.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be a purgatory. Purgatory isn't actually like that.
Then a limbo.
That's not real, if you get me.
Mm.
That was manufactured by the church to make women feel guilty. You're laughing.
Yeah, I know. It's
Like-
yeah, it's a thought of it. I know. Yeah.
That's what I mean, like
Yeah.
sort of thing. So it's not actually a thing. Realistically, it's like you're it's your penance. Really.
Yeah, actually, penance
like
would be a
you-
fair word. Yeah,
You destroyed an actual gift from God.
yeah.
So this is your penance. You forever now have to walk that green mile.
Hmm.
Or again, it could just be when he was still working there before his transfer went through. It could be I found Mr. Jingles. He came back, which is why he has him in the end.
Yeah.
It makes it sound so much cooler than it actually is. Oh yeah, I rode the lightning.
Hmm.
Source of all being and life. You'll be gone like all the others. I'll have to stay. You will die eventually. That I'm sure. I have no illusions of
That woman was stylish as fuck behind him with his sunglasses, wasn't she? Bitch, you had a funeral.
before death finds me.
You have to get that new funeral look for this year.
Oh my
This
god.
season.
I wish for it all.
Look your best when you're mourning.
Because like considering it's empty and no one else is there,
That's it. Yeah.
have you actually died and the two of you are meeting up again, or is this? Oh shit, there you are.
Mm. It is definitely that's up to interpretation, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you're kind of
Mm.
like you can take it either or.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, so cute.
Like you could argue like he's physically there at one
It's
place
like,
and
oh,
mentally here.
You're
yeah.
back. Oh, this is where you went off to, because John would have been gone at this point.
Oh yeah.
But it's because the rule is you cannot be alone
Yeah.
on the Green Mile.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
But you're kind of like, shit, which way?
I think it's more so the fact that he is physically in there, but he's mentally still
he's,
there.
yeah, mentally.
And he's
still
and,
there.
and in a sense like that is kind of his penance. Is that like because he's had to give
to
out
be
the
fair,
order to
he's
that.
had to watch everyone around him die.
Yeah.
Like,
And that is the penance.
yeah.
That is it, exactly, yeah.
This is actually a record for me. It's the first time I've not cried watching this movie, and I think it's because I only watched it like in the last like month or so.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's fresh.
that's a fucking win for Amy. I think like the average lifespan for a mouse is like 6 years or something. Like that.
It's quite
Something
short.
like that, yeah.
It's because they have so many predators, you see. It's like they don't necessarily, whatever their actual lifetime is, they normally don't live it. So,
Sometimes the green mile seems so long.
5 to 7 years.
yeah, just check it out.
Oh, African pygmy mouse has only got a 2-year lifespan.
Again,
Oh, that's so sad.
but again, it's probably because like look how many things can kill them. You know, like it's weighing out those certain things. So, anyway, that's the Green Mile. Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. Sorry, this is kind of off thing. Inside a house that provides shelter and plenty of crumbs or stored goods, the average lifespan of a mouse is about 2 years.
2 years.
If it's inside in a house
Mhm.
with shelter and food, it's only going to live for 2 years. Are you fucking for real?
Probably because of the traps, maybe.
No, but
Dogs?
like no,
No,
but
if it's
no, but
if
like
it's
if let's
best-
take
if
if
it's
let's take
safe.
it out, like even like that's
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
actually
it'd be
seems
crazy.
to be like as long as the pests have access to food and water, the only real threat are disease, humans, and pets.
That's mad.
You would imagine that would be a bit longer.
You would think
You'd
it'd be the
think, yeah.
reverse, actually.
Yeah, that's very counterintuitive.
They do make great pets, though, apparently.
I would imagine it's because the ones that are forced to live outside, like and fend for themselves, they basically have to adapt very quickly.
This is kind
I
of
would-
survival instinct.
Yeah.
But I would imagine those ones would be like 2 years.
But as I said, like if you don't have if you don't need a survival instinct, perhaps like there's not a strong will to live in certain respects. You have 2 really nice years, or you have 5 years where anything can continue right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Be more prone to act.
Would you rather 5 years of heavy anxiety and stress, or 2 years of belly? What would you rather like?
I think if I knew how long I'd only have, I'd probably take the anxiety and stress. I mean,
I can manage this. I can
Like,
cope
look
this.
at this point of view. I've already lived 23 years with anxiety, with high levels of anxiety and stress, and I'm doing grand.
Just don't fall into a many mouse traps, you'll be alright.
Like, I think I'm coping really well.
Yeah, I'm great, I'm good, it's fine.
Hair falls out.
Yeah.
It's like, is that mine?
Oh dear.
Oh, God.
Right.
So that was a nice laugh. We had to end a very depressing movie.
Yeah. Yep.
But guys, nobody cried. Well, I'm only going to count Jonathan, me, and Kira on that one because we were here for the whole thing.
We did the whole thing, yeah.
We got the whole
Yeah.
full-on Green Mile
Well, to be
experience.
fair, I was in and out of the room for a couple of spots, so like, so you guys.
You
watched
weren't
the film.
gone long enough to have been able to.
I may have missed some
desensitise.
crucial plot in the end of Act 2, I don't know.
You shockingly didn't. Oh.
But if we were here longer, Chloe definitely would have cried.
Yeah, I would.
There was
So,
shadow with him.
Mr. Jingles was brought to us by Boone's Animals for Hollywood.
No.
Yeah, they have multiple different.
What a name that is.
They actually, I think they had like
Mice.
5. I think
They have
mice.
15.
15.
And each of them had different tricks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't teach just one. So like each of them all had their own little thing. Apparently, it's one of these things on Hollywood. It's like there's the movie Creepshow is a really good example of this. So the final act of Creepshow where they have it's he's up in the penthouse apartment and he's the germaphobe and then he gets the cockroach infestation.
Yeah.
They had to fly in cockroaches for
yeah.
this.
You
And
told me about this.
one of the actors, there was an interview thing, the actors were like, the cockroaches got better treatment than anybody. They got better treatment than the actors because they'd come from a particular climate which they obviously weren't used to, like in California, so like they got their own hotel, like they had it, like literally they had like their own rooms, that everything had to be done for the cockroaches and stuff like that, and then it got to a point where it was like they also had to keep track of the cockroaches because if they got loose,
Yeah.
then they have a problem for your entire ecosystem.
Yes.
And then when they got killed, if they were accidentally killed, the Humane Society were finding them because an animal technically was killed on your set.
Yeah.
But also the people who provided them were like, please.
Compensate us.
They're film stage.
So
They're filming stage roaches, so you have to pay for them.
They're in a union.
That is pretty much like where they were at. Is
Yeah.
like, yeah, like you have to compensate them because if anything happens to them, you're gonna get fined from PETA.
Yeah.
But you're also like, and not PETA, sorry, the Humane Society.
Yeah.
But it's also the handlers who have
Kind of worked on this
lengthy
bit.
scene,
Yeah,
they were
they've
like-
worked on it.
they were like, you owe us for the cockroaches because now we have to breed more.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, huh. Like,
Send
how-
in another batch.
Do you think like SAG and the
Wafta.
Wafta are all looking at this and like, the cockroaches on Creepshow were treated better than us right
To be
now.
fair, Amy, I'm sure the cockroaches have their own march. You just don't really see them. They just have little placards just stuck to them. It's like,
Man, cockroaches are fucking huge.
okay, it's a pretty big placard.
It's like,
Yeah,
if anything, like if there was a cockroach strike at this point, I can guarantee you now, Hollywood would be like, we're gonna go back to work.
All the lasses
It's like,
that have
can
been used over the
can you
years.
let us in? It's just like. It's just like there's a black hole forming outside. Oh, it's the cockroach union. It's fine.
So, no, I can imagine someone like walking past the
Don't
boulevard
cross
going.
the line, you scab.
I was gonna say, it's like someone walking past going, "Oh my god, you crossed the picket line! Those cockroaches are striking you, monster!"
It's actually they're actually the scarab beetles. we got them in for the Mummy in '99. They never left Hollywood.
And then all Egypt based movies just stopped because the scarabs are still on strike. We can't do anything without the scarabs. I'm telling you, lads.
It's been
Beetles just
3,000
won't-
years, man. They're still eating the fucking
Beetles
fruit.
won't work.
Just ask Paul McCartney. And
Okay.
oh my god. Oh. Okay, we're gonna
That's great, Ringo. Yeah,
I'm
we'll
gonna have
just
to
put it on
end
the
this. I'm gonna have to end this before we just go off on a completely different tangent.
Yeah.
Like we don't normally.
It's been 3 hours.
I was like, it's been 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 22, 23, 24
24.
seconds. we need
Yes,
to,
we're on Audacity Watch now. Excellent.
This is gonna be a long fucking edit for Jonathan.
Yep.
But like at this point, we don't really have anything to say. We were finishing up our Stephen King watch.
Yes.
It's
playthrough
one that
on
we'd
this
all
one.
seen.
This is one that we had all seen, and I've already added in what's missing. And as you can tell, there's not an awful lot missing on this. This
Yeah.
is a fantastic fucking score.
Mm.
This is my favorite score. This is actually one of my. I'm putting up there as probably one of my favorite scores. But yeah. We don't have anything to add. I'm hungry. He's hungry. I'm
Yep.
hungry.
I think we're all
We're going to
hungry.
start the food now.
We're starting the food now. Jonathan.
Is there an outro here? Or
No, you need to come over and turn it off.
Okay.
Like, share, subscribe.
That's what, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I was.
Oh no, Kira does it. I don't. Kira
I
does it.
was waiting on you to finish up.
Yeah, no, Kira does it. I was like, Jonathan, you come over and you click it off.
Fine.
There we go.
Didn't even look it up.